Welcome to the new MARIK Workshop from WBPL 76. This program is brought to you by Lady Red Productions, the Bear Digs Corporation, and a generous grant from the Night Owl Foundation. Why are you here? Cat, will you stop chewing on me?
Welcome. You've got mail.
Ooh, woo.
Why are you here?
You're an industrial fitting with a handle.
It's an iPhone.
I just hit myself in the balls with an iPhone.
Balls.
Nope.
Nope. I regret
No
speaking.
balls.
No.
Nope.
No balls.
No balls. No balls. Balls.
I want uppies.
Somebody quote that.
Grandma's.
You see that documentary with the land squids?
Because it's squids. How did you find a way to make it worse?
Kicking a mech in the dick is against Zelbringen.
No. This is gonna be perfectly normal.
Yeah, put on the maid outfit.
Add repellent tactical booty jorts. Stupid is the way you do things.
I would so download me.
The Otaku Overlord.
When the fuck is Free Corn Thursday? Go.
There are many paths to power in life, some of them quite simple and straightforward. There's military power, political power, power of perception, force of arms, the force from Star Wars. It all adds up, because that's how you do the math. And when you've done enough of the math, you have power to spare. Unless, of course, you're dealing with the power company, where much like the cable company, the units are fictional, the measurement tools are beyond your control, and nothing else can be brought to bear. After all, what are you going to do? Not have the lights on? Well, Motel 6 said that was a bad idea, and that guy had a nice suit, so I'm inclined to believe him. Which, of course, is what takes us to turn your car down, good lord! Welcome to the new MARIK Workshop.
You saw Tom Bodette in a suit?
But their car sounds like it has enjoyed fajita night slightly too much.
Listen, that car is allowed to enjoy whatever it wants to enjoy, but you saw Tom Bodette in a suit. What were you at? Wait, Don't Tell Me, the NPR quiz show about current events?
So first of all, Wait, Don't Tell Me is excellent, but Says You is clearly the superior product.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's no game changer, but I'm willing to accept this.
Oh, that's fair. Anyway, good evening, chat. How's it going?
Hi,
Also,
everyone.
of course, hello, Parallax, the ostensive host of the show, and of course, hello, special guest, Brent.
Hello.
How's it going? I'm
So,
Squeak of the Black
lovely
Pants
evening.
Legion. You're hearing this in my voice, and it's time for introductions. Parago.
Hi, I'm the guy that does the stuff, and why is there a great big magic card in the middle of the screen? There, now it's gone. I wasn't paying that much attention. Apparently, I left it on from last week. So there you go. There was the council was on screen. Squick, that was
Yes.
their council.
The microwave council is powerful.
No more questions. I break your hands. And
I
also,
will download more.
as previously stated, Brent of Goobertown Hobbies is joining us this week because he is preposterously magnanimous and willing to entertain our tiny, tiny, tiny shared brain cell.
I had no Thursday night plans.
And we're happy to have you. That's the kind of standard we're shooting for.
I didn't have
Apparently,
anything,
you're also quiet.
I didn't have anything better to do. I'm willing to accept I didn't have anything better to. I'm going to turn the gain up, but now you're probably going to hear the fan. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, people are allowed to be fans of things.
Oh, I get to pick an emote from the hype train?
Ooh, look at you, Mr. Fancy Man. Also,
well,
there's a hype train. We just got started.
Let's see. I'm taking respectfully no. Excellent.
Okay.
Actually, it's
top
not
notch.
letting me select anything, but like.
Well, right now people are staring at the talking screen donut.
Well, yes, but I spent some time making that talking screen donut. You leave me
It's
alone.
a very nice donut.
I like the colors.
However,
Fine.
Wait, what happens when I talk? Oh, it's the same image. It's the same image when I talk.
Yeah,
isn't
it's tied to the audio output.
we share the donut.
It's one donut, but it's two colors. It's very nice. Okay, so
Nice gradient.
okay, we're gonna go to the thing. Look, there's my logo. There's Squick on my shoulder.
Yes, I'm helping.
Someday I'm gonna be happy with that Orion model. Someday I'm gonna end up rebuilding that thing entirely. I'm impossible to please. Hi, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to give us a quick run through of our user submissions this week because you guys did not absolutely bury me in them this week, so I can actually spend a little bit of time on them. So we're going to start out. We've got 5 submissions here from BizMonkey because I split his up from last week because he did try to bury us, but yes, Mini Hulk, you failed. Don't take that as a challenge, please. Yes, Night Owl, I'm going to try to paint this week. Leave me alone. Okay, so like I said, BizMonkey has several things in this week. We're going to start off with a Black Widow Warhammer. I like it. It's very clean. I do feel... Now, I know Biz is perfectly capable of this. He just chose not to do it here. I do feel like a little bit of edge highlighting and a little bit of like pigment powder around the feet to like sell the environmental storytelling of it would be cool. Also, like, this is beside the point of all that stuff. Biz,
I can see where you're going with that.
Biz,
but,
buddy,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
you didn't paint your energy weapon barrels.
Okay, point of order. What kind of energy weapon glows before it fires?
Particle projection cannon.
Okay, but it's not just continuously glowing. It's not like, yes, the nuclear rods certainly are bright today.
Sir, they are like the jars of lightning from that Neil Gaiman fairy tale, Stardust, from Stardust. We're starting this off with Stardust reference by Neil Gaiman this week.
Okay, so now the robot can fly with, like, happy memory? No, that's fairy dust.
Pirates. Sky pirates.
Okay, pirate dust, whatever.
Yeah, pirate dust. It's the dust of ground up pirates. That's what happens
That's
when you don't kill one of the members of the crew of the Black Pearl, but you do incapacitate them long enough to grind them into dust.
why are you snorting the cryptids? Oh my god. Moving on.
I'm turning them into rubric marines.
Moving on immediately.
Okay, so here's a Nova
It's
Cat.
like, hey Brent, thanks for being here. Also, fantasy cannibalism.
They're zombies. They're not people.
I liked how it said Warhammer on the bottom of the base. not the actual word Warhammer, but like I liked the way that was done. You got the caution stripes on there. You got the name of the mech class on there. That's very clean. Like the mech looks good, but I don't know. Something tickles me about getting a little bit of information there on the base. I like that.
So Biz actually does this on everything he submits to us, and it bears several layers of utility. Because in BattleTech,
you got the facing,
the facing matters, and that's the forward face of the model. And I'm going to cough to death if I don't get a drink, so I'm going to do that.
And that helps me learn too, as long as they're all accurate. Because I'm still in the phase of trying to learn these mech classes, and I know there's a lot of names, and I know depending on if you're clans or houses or Outer Rim, they got 2 names for the same dang thing, and.
Luckily, that's not a huge
all the robots,
pile of
all the
them.
robots kind of look the same to me too, and like as long as you got it correctly matched the way it's supposed to be. If that's actually a Nova Cat, then that is helping me learn, and I appreciate you.
That's a Nova Cat with a beautiful gradient.
I am going to back that up. He's done a good job with the transition there. It is a clean transition, and it's not a super long gradient between those two, but it is enough that it's not a jarring line. It's a good job.
Yeah,
and
it's not. Oh, go ahead.
I also was going to say he went through the trouble of at least dry brushing a metallic over it to hit the panels there, so that's also good. Also, his basing's
star motif on there.
His basing's
if this mech was a truck, you'd know it was owner operator. Somebody's put some pride into it.
That's on point. That's absolutely on point. Night Owl says it's a Nova Cat with a Clan Nova Cat paint job. He's right. The next one we have
so much.
Oh my God! It's a Blackwatch Highlander.
Yes.
He irritates the shit out of me with the fact that he can actually get lines that thin and that crisp where it is a recognizable plaid.
Ooh.
Look, I'm not going to harp on it. All I'm going to say is that every single mech in a jump jet pose looks like they are ripping just atomic ass. And I'm going to leave it there because the paint job is beautiful. The model is excellent. It is simply the nature of jump jets.
Yeah.
Also that plaid patch.
Yeah,
Plaid,
there's
like,
2 of them.
I know the size of these. Wow.
Yeah, that's the fact that he
Seriously,
has
are those letters 3D printed?
What's
going on there?
So I know that he has a color laser printer he uses to make decals on white decal paper. So it's probably that.
Okay. That would track.
Yeah.
And yes, the plaid looks very good.
Yeah.
The fact that he has managed to keep a point that sharp on one of his probably size 0 or some multiple of 0 brushes is just...
That's really cool.
It is. He has also given us yet a more different Warhammer.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's an Ultramarine Warhammer. Damn it, Bismonkey. It's an Ultramarine Sergeant. God, I had to stare at that for like a total of 3 seconds before it hit me. It's a Warhammer. Of course it's a Warhammer.
Well, I mean, you're going to need quite the division behind it. Some 39,000 and change.
Something like that. Awful lot of change. So let's see. He's done a good job on this. It's a nice dry brushing along the edges.
The implied Aquila across the chest.
It is a very I can just barely catch the beak there. I can't tell what's going on with the shoulder on the right side. I can see that there's something there, but I can't quite tell what it is. The Omega on the left shoulder is very nice.
I think the right shoulder is a skull decal, and we're just at a bad angle.
It's entirely possible. But it's
But
very
between
nicely
that-
done.
And honestly, all of these having the robot not just stuck on top of the basing, but having them interacting, having the base like, yeah, it's up in the foot. You're marching through it, not on it.
I've got a
touch.
method for that. I am so irritated by how easy this is. And I am so ashamed of how long it took me to figure this out, because it shouldn't have. This should have been just this makes perfect sense. It's just like, get your model painted, put some glue on the base, and then like put it down on top of a pile of your basing material and just kind of shake it down into it a little bit. And that's all that takes. Like, that is so irritatingly simple. And then like after that dries, you can go in and put your dramatically oversized grass tufts on it. But that is so irritatingly simple and effective. And I'm ashamed at how long it took me to figure that out.
I mean, we're all here to learn.
Yeah, I can
I
show
know I
off the
am.
technique later, but like genuinely, that's all it is. And I think what he's got there is, I want to say it's sand. It might be very small model railroad ballast. But
It looks like sand.
yeah. I got one more from Biz here.
What do you think very fine model railroad ballast is?
And you say looks like sand. I say looks like oatmeal. They're fighting the breakfast
but is it
war.
like overnight oats or instant oats or rolled oats, or what kind of oatmeal?
Comstar's instantaneous oats.
What do I
have
think?
no follow-up for
Very
this bit.
small. Yeah, I suppose very small model train ballast would be very large grains of sand. Or just a really, really awful rock tumbler. Like, that could be it.
And I know this thing is labeled the penetrator. That's fine. That's cool. That's a frog. That's a frog, and I want to pet it.
What kind of frog?
Like, probably a zesty one. And that's why you got to wear gloves, so like your skin oil doesn't hurt the amphibian skin.
Sir, that is in fact the pattern of a leopard frog.
You can't have cat frogs. That's too much jumping.
Listen, some things are very, very jumpy. And we're
Oh,
getting
okay.
some input from chat that YouTuber Mech Frog has escaped from captivity. We have a problem.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Yeah. He's here to tell us about how opportunity cost spares no one, so now he's a mech.
Is this desirable?
I mean, it's a thing he says, so I don't know. Biz, as usual, excellent work here. Very nice. The basing sells everything. Guys, base your models. Base your models, guys. Makes a difference. Okay, up next we have Gilly Monster has sent us these. Okay. So I said base your models, and then Gilly based his models, and he's got opalescent paint on these things. And I think he said at one point these were effect paints. But they are, God, that's cool.
Very
so-
cool.
True. But for me, the person who doesn't know things, what exactly is an effect paint?
All right, so I'm going to take a guess on this one. My guess is that it's a color shift paint, like either the shifters or color shift or turbo dork. And one way to do this kind of paint is to start with a glossy black base coat and then just do a thin spray of those color shift paints over the top. And they're all designed to basically have that kind of at least bichromatic gleam to them with like a couple of colors just depending on the angle that you're looking at. And yeah, that's what I think this is just from this one picture. But it looks friggin' sweet. It's a perfect use for it if that's what it is.
And I think he's absolutely right. I do think that's what's happened here. I look at
Turbo
this and
dorks? Yeah.
I look at this and I say, yes, this is the TVR Sagaris of mechs. And like 3 people in chat that watched a lot of Top Gear back around 2010 know what I'm talking about. So,
Okay, I watched a lot of Top Gear, and I don't know what you're talking about,
Okay.
but I'm going to assume from my context clues, it's a car.
TVR was a company that started in Britain that made cars that made no sense. And then they were purchased by a Russian oligarch who was like, hell yeah, I like cars that don't make any sense. Let's turn that up to 11. So then they made more cars that made less sense by making cars that were hilariously powerful that actively wanted you to die. But one of the features of the cars was color shift paint that shifted between at least 3 colors very smoothly.
I think you might be using the word features wrong, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. Jimmy got that reference. The TVRs were also in Gran Turismo 2. So, yeah, like the TVRs, they started as effectively British, like, backyard workshop cars and turned into very high-end backyard workshop cars. Like, they never really got past that where they were super custom cars that were technically production cars, but were also absolutely insane.
So you were suggesting that these are super custom performance mechs that don't make any damn sense.
Yes. So this, in fact, would be... So for those of you that don't know, what we have here is an Exterminator. The Exterminator during the Star League era would have had an active camouflage system that was supposed to make it functionally invisible. And that is what Gilly is trying to represent here with the color shift paint. Ooh. And I think it's a good... I have seen people do this before with printed proxies for Space Marines, where what they've done is they've used clear resin and only painted the bits that were not covered by the cloak.
Okay.
And like it's an interesting idea. It seems like it's really hard to pull off from a thematic concept, but it's a cool idea. Again, I really like the prismatic paint for this though.
Yeah, with that context in mind, it makes sense and I love it.
Okay, so I've got 2 here next from OK Mo of the Black Pants Legion.
I heard of that guy.
I think that guy might be the one guy with the audacity to be taller than me in the Legion. How dare he? We have a Phoenix Hawk here on the right, which is very nicely done. Although I do want to reiterate here, base your minis. Basing your minis makes a big difference. It's cool. But then also we have plane. And he's really focusing on the plane here. We have 2 pictures of plane. So for those of you that may or may not know, that is an aerospace fighter that I conceptualized and designed and put it on my cults page for pay what you want. If you don't want to put any money down on it, that's fine. It's not a canon design, although I did include a stat sheet for it if you want to use it. Like when I designed this thing, I was like, what if OV-10 Bronco in space? For a long time, this thing was in my notes as Space Bronco. It is currently on my cults page as the Javelina.
Spronko.
I could have called it the Spronko, but it's the Javelina. Because, Warthog, Javelina. Kind of same. Not at all the same thing, but kind of the same thing.
Yes, Night Owl. International pirate OK Mo of the Black Pants Legion.
Yes. Very well known in the island nation of Crete. Mo says that it's his Sea Duck. Now, I will tell you that the Sea Duck is based specifically off of the flying boxcar, and this is based off the OV-10 Bronco. I had a long conversation with Aiden about making a plane that was making an aerospace fighter based off of a twin boom design, like the P-38, like the Bronco, like the flying boxcar, and we decided that we could do 2 of them and then do a flying boxcar design as a bomber, but I haven't gotten there yet. Because Battletech fighters are all kind of general purpose fighters, and I'm not aware of any that are actually labeled as bombers, and if they are, they functionally aren't different than standard fighters. Also, I don't think they could get by with the weight of the limitations of aerospace fighters.
I choose to believe for plot reasons they've forgotten how to make bombs. Missiles, easy, dime a dozen. Bombs, never heard of them.
Actually, there are hard points on these things. Where you can have outboard bombs, which will give you options like cluster munitions, fast cam munitions, inferno munitions,
No, man, that's what a smart person would do. This is the inner sphere. It's going to be like, yeah, so then we taped 5 lasers to it, and if you hit the button, the plane explodes.
Very accurate. Or rocket launchers. You can put rocket launchers on those too.
Okay, that's fair.
Mo is saying in chat right now that Phoenix Hawk in the picture with him is the X1C Phoenix Hawk, and it might, quote unquote, not be his.
We're too deep down the rabbit hole. Also, hello and thank you so much there. Noodles are foodles.
Noodles are indeed foodles.
I've been told.
That's undeniable.
Welcome, Noodles.
Okay, there is Spronko on top of... I don't think that's where you're supposed to keep that. Apparently, Mo was surprised at how big this thing was when he painted it, but...
Inner sphere pilots, baby. If it fits, it sits.
I measured out the height of a mech and the width of a plane, and I scaled them appropriately. And yeah, the aerospace fighters should be well larger than the mechs. But here we are. Okay, who sent me this one? This is from the Right Reverend Jimmy has sent us... let's see.
That is also a frog.
Okay, yes.
What is that?
It is a hovercraft, and I'm trying to remember which hovercraft it is. It might be a harasser. It looks like it has an LRM-20 on top of it. It's a Pegasus. Jimmy says it's a Pegasus. So,
Okay.
Hovercraft are these things that you have as far as quote-unquote armored vehicles and Battletech go, where you don't care what happens to the crew as long as they go zoom.
Because it's cheap.
It's very cheap. They're very fast. They can have lots and lots of ammunition in them and no armor. They are going to explode. Brent, there is a rather famous rule exploit when it comes to hovercraft and Battletech.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
So
should I be shutting this down? Let me know, chat, if I should be stopping this conversation before it starts.
No, this is well known. This is well known. So the famous exploit is that all armored vehicles take increased damage from physical attacks from mech. So if a mech melee attacks an armored vehicle, and a kick, a punch, whatever, if they have a weapon or not, it's like double damage. It's ridiculous.
However,
the rules are set up in such a way that a ramming attack from a vehicle will deal double damage to the vehicle if they hit a mech.
Which leads to...
And then there are the ammo explosion rules that say that anything that is within the same space or adjacent space, I'm not immediately sure on that, if the ammunition in this thing explodes, like if the ammunition takes a hit and then it takes enough damage, the ammunition just explodes. Falcon seems saying same space. I think a ramming attack insinuates they're in the same space.
So,
and when it
Yes,
explodes, it deals all of the damage of all of the ammunition into the space that it's in.
It is crucial to note that a vehicle is not required to have a weapon capable of using the ammunition in order to carry it.
Yeah. So there is a laughably cheap, preposterously fast hovercraft called a Savannah Master. It has no armor. It has very little in the way of weaponry, and it's very, very fast. But people figured out rather quickly that if you took a Savannah Master and you filled it with nothing but machine gun ammunition, and you ran it into a mech, 1 ton of machine gun ammunition deals 200 damage on explosion.
So you get to very briefly be an everyone problem.
Effectively, you get to turn these almost free hovercraft into cruise missiles.
Like you do.
That's kind of fun.
In completely unrelated news, CGL is talking about a rules revision for the first time in 40 years. Can't possibly be related.
I'm sure that has nothing to do with that. It's fine.
Possibly. Now, machine guns by themselves do like very little damage unless you're hitting a part of a mech that has no armor on it. It deals...
But we're also getting incredibly sidetracked.
Doesn't matter.
We like your frog. Your frog is cool.
Yeah. Okay, so then we have a Vindicator. Reverend Jimmy has sent us a pink Vindicator with white highlights. This is nicely done. He's got good separation between his panels here. He's got a wash on these to show off the panel lines. And he's actually got 3 colors here, so we're in good shape there. Actually, he might have 4. I think there might be green on the cockpit there.
Maybe. I appreciate the basing there is very simple, but it tells a story.
It communicates exactly where he is. So I think if I can make one suggestion, because you've done a good job on everything here. You've got your particle projection cannon on the right arm. You've painted gray. The left arm is gray. I'd hit the barrel of this laser on the left arm in the feet with gray. Aside from that, you've done an excellent, tabletop ready job here. You've got the facing painted. You have some storytelling there on the base with the road stripes. This is great.
And you've used a giant thing of shout paper towels to keep Para from investigating the rest of the camera frame.
Oh, damn, he's right. I didn't look in the background this time.
Enhance.
We have done some absolute detective work on this stuff before. Look here. These are toothpicks. I can tell that these are Diamond brand toothpicks.
Para, I don't care about the toothpicks.
I care about the toothpicks.
The 3-barreled monstrosity.
Okay, so this is a Shrek PPC carrier that appears to be from
Shrek.
They're horizontal stripes. I think this makes it Russian. Not French. Yes, French would be vertical stripes. So this would be Russian. And he asked a question in his email, so I want to address it. He said, how do I straighten these barrels? You straighten these barrels with hot water. Really hot water. I'm assuming that this is a plastic model, but even if it's... I'm assuming that this will... If it's a pewter model, you can just bend it. But assuming that this is a plastic model, very hot water. You get hot water on it, it's going to relax the... God, I want to use words like elastomers or polymers in this, but it doesn't matter. It's a PVC mini. It's going to effectively relax it, and it's going to go back to its original shape. Or if it doesn't,
gets them a little more mobile.
Yeah,
just a teeny bit melty. Move stuff around a little bit, and
pliable. Plastic deformation. That's what we're looking for.
It makes it plastic. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah. So then, if it doesn't just go back to the way that it was, while it's still hot, take that barrel and just bend it straight with your finger and hold it until it cools off. It'll be fine. That's all you have to do. It's one of those problems that seems like a bigger problem than it actually is.
There is, of course, the secret forbidden third option.
A lighter?
What? No, I don't want to breathe that. Don't set your plastics on fire.
Are you huffing butane?
I'm advising people against it. Why are you trying to get people to huff tank juice? Stop it.
Listen, I didn't say propane. This is a very small tank if it's butane.
Anyway,
this conversation brought to you by Ronson. Ronson, light it on fire. Anyway.
Para, no.
What?
You could also Dremel the barrels off, Dremel the turret flat, and then remount them, but that's a hell of a lot of work.
But I don't think that actually solves the problem. I think that the barrel itself is bent.
You can replace it with
looking
dowling.
at I think the one on the right of the picture is actually the one you want to fix. I think it's misleading to think you need the left and the right, but I think if you just fix the one on the right, you'll be feeling happy.
And I really think you can
there's no way to heat up one of those and not heat up the other two. So you're gonna get them all bendy, and you're gonna try to get them all straight before they cool. And good luck. I think that'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just put Inner Sphere Motor Works. The barrels just come like that.
Welcome to Beeple Motors. Good luck.
It's got the right number of parts. Why are you complaining?
Do you like my desk? I built it myself, and I've got all these parts left over. Why have I gotten so much mileage out of that stupid Clerks the Animated Series reference? 3 years I've been doing this. I keep coming back to that reference. Okay, here's the Shrek from a different angle. And, like, honestly, you can't even see the bend in the barrel from the 3/4 profile.
True.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah.
And honestly, at that scale...
At that scale, if it's bent, it's just bad maintenance. It's fine.
Yeah, or maybe it's doing the battleship cannon thing where you've got like 3 barrels on there, but they're all slightly off for reasons that escape me until it's shooting time.
Okay, so we've got... The only thing I can identify in the background here is we've got some blue painter's tape, but then we have silicone shaping tools and a bit of poster tack.
Oh, there's a letter and an address. Zoom in.
Very early on in this show, when I was showing off, paint handle is medicine bottle plus poster tack. My wife reminded me before I went to air, make sure you take the label off that.
Yeah. Was the person in good health or less than good health?
Predominantly good health.
Okay.
Oh,
good,
God.
good.
Oh, God, what is this?
Was vitamins? Yeah.
It was not vitamins, but it was make brain work properly pill.
Okay.
Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Yes, I do, so I choose not to elaborate.
That's fair.
Is this a Grendel? It's a Grendel or a Mongrel. It's the same mech either way. However, we've gone black here. Communicating black is always hard. You've done the right, assuming that you want it to be. He says it's Jade Falcon Row Galaxy. I'm not looking at the color scheme. I'm assuming it's supposed to be black and light blue, which is a great color scheme. Okay, he says he used Tamiya German gray. I think it's supposed to be black. I could be wrong about that. You've done the right thing by not actually painting it black. Like, you never want to go solid black or solid white. It never comes out the way you want it to. But you've done the right thing.
But this came out pretty good.
It did. And I think I might hit this with... I think you actually already have done it to some extent. I can see the remnants of it on the blue. I was going to say a black wash, but I think you've done it.
No, I thought those were the guys with the
that might just be a little bit of the gray showing through under the blue.
It could be that.
But I'd go with the black wash. I think that could... There's definitely still some panel lines that could use some more, even if there already has been some.
Right.
Yeah.
It always
I think that's a good next step.
Yeah,
especially because they didn't go all the way black on the base coat. The gray is a good choice for the base coat there, and then because that leaves room to go darker.
Right, and if you hit it with the black wash, let it dry fully, wick off the pooling, because big flat panels are the arch nemesis of washes, and mechs are made of big flat panels, as it turns out. Give it a dry brush of a slightly lighter gray to pick out the edges in your set. I think this is good. You've got something that's absolutely tabletop ready here. If you're happy with it, you're set. That is one thing.
If you're not happy with it, you're also set.
Yeah, that is one thing that I really want to underline here again is no matter where you are with it, if you're happy with it, I don't care what anybody else says. Like, you're happy with it, that's great. Like, not everything has to be, and this is my competition piece. You don't have to do that to yourself. Okay, so here is a side profile of Crescent Hawks. Look, it's quick, Crescent Hawks.
That's really aggressive panel lines. I don't hate it. It's attention grabbing.
You're paying attention to the panel lines, and I'm paying attention to look at how he managed to keep the numbers lined up from those decals.
Okay, yeah, that's quite good.
Yeah. I hate decals so much. If only there were some way of getting the effect of a decal without actually having to deal with a decal.
But Parallax, what would such technology allowing one to apply things such as numbers or symbols to a flat or mech-like surface look like?
I could not begin.
Hold on, guys. I have an idea. I actually have a picture somewhere. If I send you a picture, can you share it on the image screen? If you send me a picture, I can throw it on screen. Yes. All right, I just gotta find the right picture. I've got it in here somewhere. You gonna think this is so cool? You're gonna think this is so cool if I find it? Hold on. Oh,
we're getting some ideas here for Black Pants Legion nail polish. Gummy, I saw you in chat earlier. Get us some nail polish.
Yeah, get on it.
Any polish is nail polish if you're really bad at applying it.
Like, Squick, you know what I think of Gummy, right? Like, and you know why I'm asking her for this.
Yes.
Yes, because she's a spooky bitch. I'm getting it in chat right now. Spooky.
Defeated side.
I'm getting some
Okay,
feedback.
I got a picture for you.
Okay, I will make. I've got Discord ready to go. Just drop it in the conversation, and I'll have it.
I await this moment of enlightenment.
I have so many Discords going. Hold on.
This man is so important. I can't believe he just made time for us.
But we appreciate it.
Actually,
no, I'm not bragging about having too many. That was not what that was.
I know.
No.
I know. We are very yes-anding everything in this conversation.
Yet how we do. Oh, right, the beverage that I have to keep drinking.
I feel like I said something about this earlier, didn't I?
It's possible.
Brent, bro.
Did you get the picture?
I got the picture.
All right, share the picture.
I'm going to share the picture. I have to drag it into
Show
a
us
folder.
the picture.
I'm going to say this again, bro. This is amazing.
I can't remember if I cropped this picture, so like be careful. But
you cropped it well enough.
Forbidden knowledge.
Chat, look at that.
That's the key.
Look at that,
I have an
chat.
advertisement on my screen. I'm not subscribed. I'm on an ad break.
Somebody get this man a pair of pants.
Nope.
The comedic timing is amazing.
I think it's a pre-alcohol ad. They're at a wedding. They're happy. Yes, definitely a pre-alcohol ad.
Don't worry, we'll keep stalling.
Oh, no, I got a little image. I also have the image on my phone. We can talk about it.
So I have a Squick. If it were a vape commercial, would you call it vaporware?
I would not, but I am certain someone would.
Who?
I don't know. You probably.
That's fair.
Or me, if I thought I could get away with it.
Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. So we have a Thunderbolt, a Banshee, and is it a Wasp or a Stinger? Oh, I'm so bad at the Wasp and Stinger difference. But that's not the important part. The important part here is I'm getting Wasp from chat. Goobertown Hobbies has now been gifted.
I literally had no ideas what any of those were. Oh, thank you.
Hey, thank you so much, Geth.
Yeah, thank you very much. Oh,
Excellent.
my goodness. I'm back.
Geth has said,
ad, everyone.
Geth said you just got pantsed. But I don't think we do pants anymore as the icon, but we used to, so it's fine. Okay, so we have the 3S Banshee, and you can tell because it's useful. That is to say, it has more guns than fists. We have the Thunderbolt, and
You're not wrong, but you're not supposed to say it.
Listen, the base Banshee is like a 95-ton Charger. Neither one of these things are necessarily good.
The Charger is like a 95-ton Charger.
The Charger's 80 tons.
Yeah, it's like a 95-ton.
Except 15 tons lighter.
Yeah, it's basically the same.
Sure.
I got these at the loose model bin at my local game store.
I need one of them. My local game store doesn't have a loose mech bin.
Mine doesn't anymore. I bought the last 3. What are they?
I don't know what you paid for them, but I do know what they originally retailed for, and that was roughly $5 a mech.
Okay, I either paid 3 a mech. It might have been 5 a mech. I think it was 3 a mech.
Okay, you did well. You did well. The only way to get that cheaper.
But I just wanted to mess around and try the stamps on them. So what we've got here is just I gave him a spray with the colors I wanted to use, painted the bases black, and then everything else on there is stamped on. Basically.
God, that worked nicely.
Okay, yeah, so
well.
Where to start? So I've got the idea that you folks love your facings. You like getting something onto that front.
Oh my God, I didn't even realize you would have done the facings with it. That's brilliant.
Oh yeah. So that's
very quickly. I need to answer a question in chat. That is clearly not a 40K orc symbol. That is absolutely a non-copywritten icon that is similar to the face of something with a very large jaw.
I'm pretty sure the cave painters had something like that.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So the bases were black, and then I stamped on white to make the caution stripes on the front of the bases, and then just glazed over that with like some, I think it was yellow speed paint. I could have used ink or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
then
hello,
all of the
Raider.
rest was just trying different designs that we had on our first generation stamping plates there, and putting them wherever seemed cool. I purposely put way too many things onto these mechs. But
Well, if
just
you're
trying to see
using
how it worked around the curves and over
if you're
the
using
panel
them as a
lines and all
test
that
palette,
stuff.
that's absolutely valid. Now, let me ask you a question here, especially on parts where you have.
I'm going to interrupt for a moment to say hello, Bicephalo Art Studio. I really hope I'm saying that right. And greetings, Raiders. Welcome.
Oh, hello.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled that thing we were talking about.
I guess the previously Oakland, now Las Vegas Raiders have raided us. So I'm going to assume. Well, actually, I'm just going to ask because I don't want to assume because I'm not sure. Especially on the leg of the big blue one, that being the Banshee, where you've got the caution stripes on that left leg. Did you use the regular stamper on that, or did you use like a piece of silicone tape?
The outside of the legs are all the regular stamper. So there definitely are a few things on these that I used a piece of silicone tape for. And that's I use that as more of an accessibility thing because it's got a narrower profile. So you transfer the design from the steel plate to the thin piece of silicone tape, and then I can't remember exactly where I used that, but actually probably for the symbols like on the bases between the legs there.
Okay.
I bet for that wolf head on the green one and the scarab on the blue one, that might have been that silicone tape. But for any of the like very accessible outer facing limbs and such, that all would have been the normal silicone stamper.
God, that looks good.
And yeah, it squishes, right? So the silicone does a good job of squishing, and so there are some like actual flat panels on these models. So on the blue one, on the mech's right leg, left to us,
right?
The little like Spartan crossed swords thing, like that's an actual flat surface on the model that you could get a decal on, right?
Right.
But a ton of the other surfaces have hard edges on them or curves, or they're broken up by panel lines. And I think that's one of the places that these stamps do a really good job compared to decals or something like that, is that they can deal with that uneven surface a lot better because the silicone just squishes around and it does
for example,
get color. Yeah.
The aforementioned barricade stripes on that leg. That's a complex compound area.
Exactly.
I am tremendously impressed by how well that worked. Because, wow.
One moment, I have to put my shill voice back on.
All right.
But Goobertown Hobbies, Brent, where would one acquire such items? I heard you were sold out, following outstanding demand.
Oh, we got some stuff back. We're running a little bit low again, but goblinhobbies.com. Goblinhobbies.com. That's the...
Oh, man. Okay, I'm being asked to zoom in. Okay, so we'll zoom in. We'll enhance. But, like, God, these are clean. I need to order for
yes, the front man for the Blue Man Group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blue one, right?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know if I committed any sins here with my color choices. I just had some nice colors down in my paint desk.
Like, honestly, at the end of any given day, you can just say, oh yeah, this is a mercenary company where their gig is that they paint things in rainbows. Whatever, man.
The only badly painted mech is an unpainted mech.
Accurate. Hey, look, we have a pin here in chat for goblinhobbies.com. Guys, if you want to find these things, they are there. And, like, we will get to this in a minute, but aside from the intro pack, if there's, like, one individual plate you like, they're available individually now. So, we'll get there. But, let's
that's true.
Let's try to get through the submissions here. Oh, wait. I know that's not it. And I know that's not it because it's not it. Oh, wait. That would do it because I've still got Brent's thing pulled up. I know what I'm doing, everybody. Okay. So these are from the name on these was, I'm going to say
to interrupt. I thought you guys were moving on.
No, sir, absolutely not.
No, I
Like,
derailed
that
this
was
to the
cool as
side,
hell.
and I took us to commercial.
Those
town.
numbers do look amazing. Yeah. Okay.
So these are from user. I'm going to go ahead and say these as though they're not necessarily meant to be German. Weißdraconis, otherwise it'd be Weißdraconis, but I don't speak German, and here we are. But we got a nice Vapor Eagle up front and a Valkyrie.
There's no way there's a mech called a Vapor Eagle.
Sir, in fact, there are 2.
That's not better. Wow.
Vapor Eagle. There you go.
You can't do that.
They did twice. There's a Vapor Eagle
All right,
and a
fair
Vapor Eagle 2.
Why is there a sequel?
Because the clans like things that say 2.
Okay, yeah, that follows.
Like, I'm still trying to figure out why there's a Templar and there's a Templar 3, but I can't find any record of a Templar 2. This game doesn't always make sense. I like the color pattern here. You've got, like, obviously this is the Crescent Hawks, so, like, it's an established pattern here, but you've done a good job on it. Yellow is always a tremendous pain in the ass. You've accomplished it without it being splotchy or super, super yellow. Like, it is a nice muted yellow to get across what you want it to. Oh, look, Roadrunners. Now, that doesn't mean anything to anyone except a few people that are like, oh yeah, the Roadrunner, that ultralight clan mech. Like, I know this thing because I made a model of it because Cookie asked me to. But, like...
They look like belligerent gremlins.
You're not wrong. But, like, there's some inherent comedy built into... Yes, these are clan Crescent Hawk mechs.
Yes, the commuter mech.
Yeah, those. Belligerent gremlins, as is said by Lord Grimos.
I do want to call out those cockpit paint jobs, though, because...
They're solid. Like, it's always a fine line between, like, I'm going to do this in one solid color, I'm going to do a gradient, or I'm going to do this with super high contrast and hope it turns out. And in this case, it turned out. It's very nice.
I like it.
I like those 3 little guys.
Yeah. And again, we've got nice caution stripes on the front of those, very even. I think that's a decal.
Is this a mech football team?
Yes. The new Avalon Crescent Hawks.
All right, fair enough.
Noodles or Foodles he's seeing a lot of mechs here he's never heard of. So we've got the Vapor Eagle, we've got the Roadrunners, we've got... By the way, the Roadrunners, I think they came in the same, like, technical readout as the Coyotl, and that was on purpose. I'm waiting on someone to respond to the fact that you have a Roadrunner and a Coyote.
No, I'm not saying anything. I'm staring at it. I'm judging it, but I'm not saying it.
We've gotten a couple of meeps in chat already.
Chat. If you encourage him, it's only going to cause more.
Meep. Listen, this isn't even me. This was FASA. You can't even blame Catalyst for this. This was... which mech is sidelined with a broken toe? Probably a Blackjack. Their foot pads were garbage. I do love the fact that they built that into the fluff for the Blackjack. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, their foot pads are garbage. And like then they couldn't get them. Sure, why not? Cool. Doesn't matter, but...
So I'm hearing there's a market for, like, Blackjack tactical flip-flops.
I'm going to tell you that maybe 2 years ago, Ducks recorded a commercial for that. And several of us contributed. Like, I'm sure we can find it. Ramshackle, there is a Wile E. Coyote mech. It's the Coyotl. Jimmy's asking if I'll include the pink pony lance. I must have glossed over that one in my emails. or he's talking to someone else. Anyway, I do like these. The panel lining is very stylistic. Like, I could say it's not very realistic, but it does add a nice quality to it. It does show off the separation between the panels. It's not bad. It's very particularly kind of a cel-shaded style, and I'm here for it. It's nice.
To which I say, hell yeah.
And to which I say, there's the Vapor Eagle's ass.
Okay. It's nice seeing them done that consistently. It does create like the team dynamic without them looking cookie cutter.
That's true. I'm assuming that these
wonderful.
were batched. And if they weren't batched, they were like the paints for these were not mixed. It could go either way.
Yeah, you remembered which blue you were using.
Exactly.
For sure.
Okay, this next set is just stuff I've been tooling around with lately. I'm not saying any of these are remarkable pieces. It's just what I've done lately. Okay, up front we have, look, it's Space Marine. I had a Space Marine, so I painted him. And like he's brown and yellow. He's fine. He's fine. I just happen to have these colors.
There you have it, folks.
There you have it. He's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Also, we've got some comments on the Vroom in chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
People go fast.
I am being reminded now that it's time for Us or Ain't, the game where you bet on whether a random quote is from someone associated with this show or not. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit play on that. Because I was smart enough lately to not have that set to play as soon as the thing starts, I'm just going to hit the play button. You're going to get the explanation song that my friend recorded because I didn't ask her to, but she did it and I appreciate it. So here's how you play Us or Ain't.
It is the Us or Ain't-ing.
Okay, apparently I'm missing something on the Make It Go button. Ah, there it is.
Us or ain't. Let's draw a random quote for us or ain't. For us are all of the Pandora pirates and MARIK pilots, and ain't is everybody else, including the chat. To be fair, there are a lot more quotes for ain't out there. And if you're feeling charitable, there is the goob hole where you can throw your goob, but you ain't getting it back.
It's quick.
Let's play us or ain't.
I can see it in the film strip. Okay, everybody, there you go. There are the rules to Us or Ain't. You've got, I think it's 2 minutes to get your bid in. And as you heard in the song, it's usually not us. But if it is us...
But sometimes it is.
If it is us, it usually has a high payout. Lately, we've had a lot of us. I think Squick's been saying a lot of stuff that's gotten recorded. Hey, Squick.
I have been running my mouth, yes.
This is normal.
Dog, 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 gremlin, dog.
Gremlin is accurate. The cats have started.
I see him.
The cats have started teaming up with her and knocking her treats down so that she can get them.
That is amazing.
Yeah. My animals
moderately concerning and adorable.
My animals are absolutely gremlins. But there she is, sitting by my wife's lap, being the sorriest critter to ever. Von Falkenstein is asking, Squick, where are the promised doggo pictures from last month?
Last month wasn't real. What?
Okay, so I said earlier that I was painting mechs for my brother. This is the Game of Armored Combat box. I knocked these out in I think I timed this at 4 hours for all 8 of these. But I was batching them out. And,
One moment, I have to make an ill-advised gambling.
Now, I will admit to the cardinal sin that I did not go around and black out the bases before I took the picture, but I did eventually black them out. But I was pretty happy with how these turned out, considering how quickly I knocked them out. These are certainly not, like, display quality models, but I am happy with how they turned out. And they're a little bit beyond... I would call these tabletop plus.
Yeah, some good choices were made there.
Yeah. And he
Good
supplied
colors. There's a balance of the view screens with a little bit of grass on the bases and stuff. Like, yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
clever,
Like-
clever.
He supplied me with a color scheme, and then I just chose how to apply it. So so here it comes. We've got the Usher
Here we go.
Let's see what we got.
It is, quote, 8286. Zaiku, you just walk up to a female-looking character in a video game and announce to chat, quote, "Who wants to see a trap?" End quote. And that's probably not your best timing. Mad Ducks, Monster Hunter Frontier G.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's an us. This is like
Be
4
us.
weeks in a row. Like, this is getting weird. And this wasn't even Squick this time. Like, somebody
I can't
made
be blamed
bank
for
off
this.
of this.
Well, it means that I can bribe someone to bother an animal like 4 times. Speaking of, I must check my camera roll and find pictures of animal.
Okay, so I showed off last week that I had hilariously oversized aircraft carrier, quote-unquote, miniature. So Brent, I have a BattleTech scale aircraft carrier, like a small aircraft carrier. So it's about 3 feet long.
Okay. Yeah.
So I decided that it needed land air mechs to put on the deck, and a friend of mine who's in chat right now, Voxaforge in chat, was responsible for these models. Eldonius Rex, associated with the Legion, was responsible for the art that these models came from. So I just decided this needed a couple of those because these were the best looking land air mechs that I had in my STL collection.
They have the right level of... I don't even know what to call it. Just... compact belligerence.
Yeah.
Much like the Gremlin.
Yeah. So the Urban Mech Lamb is a tremendous meme. I don't know if you've run into it yet, Brent, or not, but the Urban Mech is kind of the darling of the community because it is a terrible mech that is excellent within a very specific niche, and otherwise it's just god awful.
It's a nice balloon. I've seen the balloon. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Yes. The acoustic version.
You know, the 20-foot tall inflatable Urban Mech. I still love
It's
that.
for stealth.
Someday I'll see it. Someday I'll actually manage to see that one.
Yeah,
Someday
it was at Nova this year, so a couple of weeks ago. I was at Nova, and they had that out in front of the hotel, just this giant inflatable Herbie.
Yeah.
And I did get just a normie in DC like stop me, like, "Are you with those people? Like, what is that?" You know, that's
Are you with
like, "Oh, that's
those people?"
Yeah, it was, I was in the hotel across the street, and there's somebody like going to the elevator. So I'm like, "What's going on over there?" Like, "Oh, that's a battle mech."
Excellent.
Got off of the elevator. Yeah.
Guys,
hey, thank you so much for the follow there, Isaac.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. I think we may be slowly converting Brent over to this, but don't rush it.
No, you're making fine progress. Yeah.
We're gonna baptize you in the Tex Talks BattleTech videos, and we'll see.
We're just here to be weird and fun.
Okay. Black Knight, the subject of the next video that will be out at some point, I am assured. I think I showed this off on the close-up cam last week, but I didn't have a picture of it, so there it is. White sucks, but I did it. Yeehaw.
Well done. I like the part where it, where it looks pretty good, and as you say, that's not trivial with white paneling.
No, and you can't actually see the gradient much in here, but there is a gradient. It does go down to a lighter gray or a darker gray, and like again, nothing here is white. So
gradient.
This is kind of the same technique here. I was gonna finish painting this. This I think he's a lieutenant. Like he's the lieutenant from the Leviathan box. And I didn't finish painting him because his knife broke, and I can't find the piece. So he stalled out. But that's where he got. Grumble. I'm not going to...
Having that much grumbling? Is that wise?
Sometimes things happen. And there's the Stormcast Eternals that I was working on that are clearly not Stormcast Eternals, who absolutely don't have big lions on their shields. These are Spartan Cast that you can find. They're not actually called Spartan Cast. I don't remember what they're called on my mini factory, but the community has referred to them as Spartan Cast. On the left, you can see true metallic. On the right, you can see non-metallic. I'm still working on non-metallic metals, and like you can't actually see this on here because like it's a terrible angle to show off the non-metallic. But I tried to take a picture of it and it didn't focus, and it was like 10 minutes before the stream, so I didn't try again. Okay, we go over to the other side of the desk now. Yay! And we can actually talk
to the other side of the desk.
Okay, now I like stand up and I move things, and then there's god awful noise, and we'll see what happens. I
think that noise is us talking, Parrot.
Well,
That's me.
Yeah, but shut up.
Yeah, fair. Bum 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 bum.
Get over there.
Yeah, we got a great close up on that paint water. Deliciously flavored, smooth texture.
That is clean paint water. I haven't done anything with that yet. You shut up. I have made a stupid mistake, and I haven't moved the camera over to the display. I'll be right back.
Okay, have fun. Hurry back. We'll be here.
We'll be here. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
But what if I worried a lot? And I guess that's not the most practical.
Do you guys do this every week, or how often do you noodle around like this?
Yeah, we're usually here like every Thursday, right in this time slot. Just having an interesting time. Sometimes painting happens.
Okay.
Most of the time painting happens.
Okay, so there we go. I can now see chat.
But can you be chat?
I mean, no, because I don't have a keyboard.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so as I have said,
I will type to chat.
Excellent. Now comes the part where I inevitably get airbrush paint onto this pen display. We'll see what happens tonight. But like I said, I am working on this set for my brother, and what we have in this next grouping is the House Davian Heavy Battle Lance. That apparently he didn't know he had this. And Halzakar of the Black Breeches Brigade has told me he doesn't care what color these end up, but I'm going to stay thematic, and these are going to get the Davian tracksuit. So for those of you that don't know, the Davian tracksuit being the Davian Heavy Guard.
Okay, so we're not getting like another like macho mech.
No, we're not. I've done that before. That was a nightmare. But this will be blue with a white and red stripe on the left side. After the airbrush is finished compressing. Okay, and it's done. So now I move that so it doesn't fall off the shelf. And I put the airbrush stuff in the airbrush place. And I get all of the and then the airbrush cleaning stuff. All the airbrush cleaning stuff that I'm going to... No, actually, I don't really need to change colors this time because I'm just going to do blue on these. But don't worry, my hand's going to be blue by the time we're done. Fine. It's fine. I said it's fine.
So Cookie's pointing out, like she's heard that there might be, quote, tips and tricks. But she's saying, Brent, I've heard tip. 1. And they desire more. More tips.
More tips? What about more tricks?
I didn't specify.
Brent, can you trick people?
No, too honest. They see right through me. Can't trick them. Can't trick them. Come on.
Remarkably transparent for someone who works with so many paints.
It's true. Well, I mean, they don't all have great opacity. Like I said, we yes and a lot here. Okay, so we're going to start out here with a Pro Acryl dark blue. All the paints in the blue are going to be Pro Acryl this time because I happen to have good Pro Acryl blues. Like a good, I wouldn't exactly call it a triad, but it's close.
Some of them really do come in triads. What do you have there? Just dark blue? Is that what it is?
That is Pro Acryl dark blue, and the next one will be, in an unsurprising fashion, Pro Acryl blue. And then I'll mix in
Yeah,
a
I mean
little bit
that's
of
pretty
sky
good. It's
blue.
not
Did
not
not
exactly in
surprising,
the
says
same
the
line.
man.
Those ones. Yeah, it's close to a triad. It's not
It
quite.
surprised me.
I think the sky blue and the blue go pretty well together. The dark blue seems a little bit off of the triad to me, but
They'll all end
it
up
works.
getting mixed
It
together
works.
a little bit in the process, and that's
Yeah,
not going to be enough of that dark blue. I'm going to need more of that to cover
that'll
these
do
things.
it.
More
That'll
blue.
do it.
The nice thing is
I
because
recently redid my paint rack.
Yeah?
So I had been organizing by brand, and so I had like some Pro Acryl on my left, Duncan on my right, and then I eventually I was driving myself crazy looking for the colors I was needing. And eventually, I broke it all down, and I sorted by screw what brand it is. We're just sorting by colors. So I
Now,
got colors on my left, and I got like neutrals on my right, and I'm feeling better about that.
I
Feeling
want
real
to
good
ask you a
about that.
question about that then. And
All right.
I'm gonna hope for a neutral answer here. I'm hoping that, experience with being associated with some of these brands won't necessarily influence this. And I appreciate that all of these are going to be better for different things, but I've ended up in the mix of basically I have the 3 non-Citadel brands that you can find most places on my desk, where I've got Vallejo, Army Painter, and Pro Acryl. You're mentioning Duncan Rhodes, and I'm assuming that you have P3 and the other more boutique ones. Do you actually find that those more, I'm going to say, difficult to find ones are worth the difference? Because I haven't ever found Duncan Rhodes physically anywhere, and I don't like necessarily ordering stuff unless I've had a chance to try it.
So the Duncan paints is at my local store, and I think there's a decent number of stores that do carry it. These days I'm pretty much on the theory that they're all close enough to the same. Like you can make any of these work fine. Like if a new painter comes to me and says, "What brand of paint should I buy?" A couple of years ago, the answer would be anything except Army Painter. But then the Fanatic line is a lot better than the old Army Painter line, and so now the answer is yeah, pretty much anything.
God, that's such a
And
tremendous change.
Yeah, that's a really good thing, and there's subtle differences between them, and but some of it does just come down to whether it's available locally to you. There's a little bit of difference in the thicknesses, the way they come out of the bottle, and how much you need to thin them. And then it's just like the packaging, the labeling, the actual colors. Like there's some differences there where you might whatever, like the yellow from one brand more than another, or just have like an absolute favorite green from some other brand. But I think this is a really good thing that they're all close enough these days that just buying a set of paints, you're not likely to be making a terrible mistake with that. So
I absolutely agree with that, where I have a large collection of the old formulation of the Vallejo stuff because Hobby Lobby carries it, and for a long time there, my options were Citadel or Vallejo, and that was it. And now that I've moved, I have more options. But once Hobby Lobby started getting the new formulations of model color and game color, those have been really good now too. They were fine, and now they're good.
Yeah, I had no problem with even the older versions of the Vallejo paints. Yeah, absolutely.
So, what in your mind separates a good paint versus a great paint?
I think all of those exist within paint lines. The actual color of the paint makes a huge difference because every different color is using either a different pigment or a different combination of pigments. And a color pigment, these are all just unique chemicals. Bold pyrrole red is a small organic molecule, whereas titanium white is an inorganic salt or inorganic compound, I guess, if you want to call it that. But
bold pyro red,
you know,
titanium white.
carbon black is just a mix of.
I do.
Yeah,
No,
we can
that's
call it charcoal or something, but it's like a mix of all kinds of different carbon compounds.
Carbon black. There we go.
Yeah. So, you know,
So I was under the
they're
impression that
they're all different in solubility and opacity and hue, and so you know there's this general understanding that like blue paints tend to be pretty good, and that's because blue pigment 15 is a pretty damn good pigment. It gets into suspension with the binder really well. It's very strong color. It's the color you want. It's vibrant. It's not super opaque on its own, but it's easy to mix in a little bit of white and make the paint opaque.
Which a
Whereas
lot
yellow,
of many
like,
colors,
yeah.
many paints will already have a little bit of that in there to make that happen.
Yeah, so that's something to say. Is like the vast majority of mini paints will have, especially white, kind of already mixed into the binder. And titanium white, carbon black are actually both decently opaque pigments. And so a lot of times to make an opaque paint, you take a color pigment, some hue that you want, and a lot of them aren't necessarily opaque, but you mix that with a little bit of white, a little bit of black, and you get an opaque paint that's very usable. So some of the artist paints, like the true artist paints that are just pure one pigment paints, it is nice to know what you're working with, but sometimes they're a little bit more annoying to work with because they're much more translucent. Like if you only have a single pigment, green or yellow or red or whatever it is, a lot of times that just doesn't have the coverage that we're kind of used to in the mini painting world.
Yeah, as an
And
example, real quick, we've got quadricone red here. And again, I do think that this is PV19. It's a single pigment paint, absolutely translucent.
Yeah. And actually, I mean, the artist paints are nice because they tell you what's in there, and also they have that little sample right there on the outside of the bottle where they have that stripe of black and white, and they paint the red paint over that black and white stripe, and you can see how translucent it is.
Now, for those of you that might be wondering, why on earth would you pick these things if they are not as transparent or not as opaque as a mini paint? They mix better because they don't already have the white and the black mixed into them. You will manage to maintain your vibrancy when you mix them, as opposed to if you've already got other colors mixed in, it will eventually just kind of wash out.
Yep.
See, I'm learning things over here. This is great.
Yeah, the mini paints, almost all of them are a combination of different pigments in there. And so when you go to mix like a yellow and a blue miniature paint, thinking that you're going to get green, that yellow may have some red in it, that blue may have some red in it. Both of them may have some white in it. The blue might have a little bit of black in it. And so you think you're mixing yellow and blue, but really there's just a ton of pigments in there, and the green that you're going to get out is going to be a little bit of a muddy green because there's a lot of crap going in there that you did not intend to mix together. But that's the value of single pigment paints, is that you know what you're getting.
Now, I'm going to throw out a very specific example here of if you want to get a single pigment paint for a specific purpose, and it's not, I want something that is just solid white or solid black. You can find some stuff here that is single pigment, like this is zinc white. Again, it's single pigment, it is translucent, it will lighten the color of whatever you're mixing it into without overpowering it because of the translucency.
Okay, and
sometimes, just for the record, you will see that actually labeled as mixing white.
Chat has questions.
Well,
Chat would like to know about your airbrush.
Okay.
Where it came from. What is it?
So
what does it do?
I use two different airbrushes at this point. The one that you're looking at right now is really my workhorse of an airbrush. And like, Brent, you're going to have an opinion on this. And I trust whatever your opinion is. But
you're going to have an opinion. This is a threat.
Every YouTuber I've ever watched has said things like, this is my Iwata Eclipse, or this is my Harder and Steinbeck, or whatever it happens to be. And every time I talk with someone that has practical experience, like working in a store that sells these things, they have told me every time, do not buy a specialty one. Do not buy an Iwata, because getting parts for them is a tremendous pain in the ass. What I have is Badger. Badger is fine. Badger is not tremendously expensive. This is a Badger 105 Patriot. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, I got one of them. Yeah.
It does the job you want it to. It does it pretty reliably. I have replaced several parts out of this thing over the course of several years.
For example?
I have two different size nozzles that comes with a different needle, that comes with a different nozzle, that comes with a different end here. I've had to, I haven't had to replace the PFA insert in here, although I have had to reseat it at one point. But, stuff like that. You can get replacement parts for Badger because Badger has a website where you can order this stuff directly. It looks like it's made on GeoCities, but they have a website.
Yes.
Which part are you agreeing with?
I've been to that website. I've ordered a replacement needle for my Badger Patriot 105 on there, and the website does look like it was made in GeoCities, but the needle got to my house. I can't remember how long it took, but like in a reasonable amount of time. So Badger's an American company. I could make guesses about Iwata, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, Harder and Steinbeck is German. I think there's probably somewhat of an argument to be made of don't go the cheapest you can get at Harbor Freight, because like I got a couple of those and did the exercise of stripping them down and seeing what they look like, and the parts really are different if you go absolute bottom of the barrel like that.
So
Harbor Freight or Amazon or something.
I'm curious there because I know Harbor Freight has done a sizable refresh of their entire airbrush line.
Yeah, they moved over to their Avante branding, but here's the thing. I don't think the brushes changed. The compressors changed, but I don't think the brush they pack in with it did. I actually have...
I can't remember. I might be an Amazon brush or something that I have, but like I
it's one of those cheap
like $10 brushes.
It's one of those cheap like equivalent to Master brand brushes that like they're all basically the same. And like they work, like there's going to be some issues there. Like technically, yes, they operate. They don't operate very well. They're going to clog. Don't have high expectations. Now, what I'm using right now is a 105 Patriot, specifically with the fine tip on it. I have been through 2 sets of medium tips on these things, and I don't know what it is. I wear out the medium tips pretty hard, but then again, I mostly use the medium tips for things like priming. And Stynylrez is great. It's also really hard on airbrushes. I don't think it's hard on needles. Yes. I think that might just be a me problem.
It clogs up pretty quick. I think a lot of airbrush primer is like that though. Is that even when you thin it down, the whole point is that it adheres to stuff, right?
Right.
And so when I'm priming and using one of the bigger airbrushes is great for that. But I work fast. I load it up and I make sure that my trigger is almost always down, so I get the priming done just as fast as I can before that sucker jams up.
Yup.
But and then it's a mandatory cleaning of the airbrush after using one of those primers. But Stynylrez from Badger Stynylrez, and then also the Monument Hobbies airbrush primer is similar, I'd say.
And they are both, let's see what it actually says here. These are both polyurethane primers. You will run into, occasionally someone will claim something as a primer, and it's really just a thick acrylic paint, which is disheartening. But like the Stynylrez and most of the miniature brand or like first party airbrush brand, whatever it happens to be, are actually primers. I have seen some YouTubers say things like, "Oh yeah, I use the Tamiya enamel primer," and I'm not screwing with enamel. I hate working with enamel paints. I'm not doing it.
I didn't even know that was a thing. It's like an airbrush enamel primer. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Or a brush on.
It is an airbrush enamel primer, and like apparently it's fantastic as far as self-leveling and drying and leaving a very thin layer and all that stuff. I'm not screwing with pushing organic solvents through an airbrush if I can help it. Like That's fair. I got enough problems with air quality as it is. I don't need that.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if I can find that thing. Okay, I'm just going to give this a real quick brush out before I put it up, because that is as much of the airbrushing as I need to do on this. That's just base coating and getting a gradient on that. Now,
it looks great, and that big airbrush is perfect for that. Yeah, that's a nice little blue you got going on there.
Thank you. Now, the other thing that I just bent the hell out of that brush. Cool. I said I have a couple of brushes. I have 2 brushes that I use, and I just pop the hell out of my microphone. Excellent. I have 2 Badger brushes that are my go-tos. I have cheaper brushes that I've basically just given up on. But I have the Badger 105 Patriot that I do most of my work with, and then I have the... Let's pull it out real quick just so that I can make sure that I'm not blowing smoke.
I mean, what else are you going to do with smoke?
Smoke it, but, you know, cigars. Oh. The Badger Sotar is the other one that I've got. Let's put that on the... And this thing is amazing, and it does pencil thin lines and all that stuff, and most of the time I don't need that.
Oh, I have a horrific $10 knockoff of that. It was awful. But it looked cool.
There you go, everybody.
So you're telling me it looks cool and it will work?
I'm telling you it looks cool and it works phenomenal.
Interesting.
And I just launched the cap cover of this thing into orbit. Awesome. I'll find that some point in the next 2 weeks, I hope.
Productivity.
No, that doesn't help if I don't turn off the compressor first. Let's empty the tank. By the way, if you're looking at buying an airbrush and a compressor, I cannot recommend getting a compressor that already has a tank on it enough, because I aftermarketed a tank onto a brush, and it would have been cheaper if I just bought one that had a tank on it.
So I'm hearing cheap compressor, good airbrush.
No.
Medium both.
Okay. Going back to chat for a moment, there was a question regarding both of your opinions on paint washes. Or I misread the question. It could be either way.
Okay.
I saw someone asking something about like speed paint and stuff like that.
Oh, speed paint, yes, that's what was there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think the slap chop, the old slap chop method is actually like a pretty viable way of painting minis if that's what you want to do.
Okay, enlighten me. What is the slap chop method?
Okay, so you saw how I just went through and I started at dark blue and built up to light blue on these?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, imagine that was black to white. And the idea is that you're building up this spotlight of bright light hitting this thing from an angle. Usually it's from directly above.
Yeah, so I've heard that referred to as what? Zenithal highlighting?
So what you do with that then is you hit that with a transparent or something like a contrast paint, which is effectively a transparent paint that has some qualities to it that makes it not settle on high surfaces.
And I hear that, but I really want to see Brent in a slap chop commercial.
It's a similar idea. Yeah, no, you got it. It's for making salads.
Just
you
set it
you know
and forget it. That is a different product. Nobody
That's
look
not
into
the
that.
slap chop. That's the rotisserie chicken machine.
And now we know how old Squick is.
And
The Ron Popeil
corn
rotisserie chicken.
if you rub this on your car, it'll be immune to lasers.
Wait, you got the ceramic coating for your car too?
I saw the commercial.
There you go. Okay. I had a number of questions that you took notes on.
Yes. Moving on to the next one. Let's see. You want to go for the shill or the non-shill?
Let's go with the non-chill. Let's keep it conversational for the moment.
Okay.
Oh my God, where's my whip?
As an artist with a very specific set of skills, how do you price your own work when it comes to somebody says, "Hey, I want you to do this thing"? Because that deciding what your time is worth, what your expertise is worth, that's not easy.
Is this a commission artist question for the commission artist who just left the desk?
Well, I mean, he told me to queue it up, and I don't pay attention to the world. So we're gonna.
Yeah, Parrot don't got no headphones on.
God damn it,
Parrot's
Para.
got headphones on again. He's back.
Download more headphones.
I'm trying to find my parchment paper.
Have you checked the oven room? Kitchen.
No,
Have you
it's
checked
right
the
here.
kitchen? Okay.
Yes, it's in my oven room. That is to say, my office that doesn't have HVAC. Kind of the same thing.
That's fair.
There you go.
So yeah,
There's the
Para.
sound of parchment paper. I hope everyone enjoys it.
It crinkles with quality.
It crinkles with something. I bought this shit at Ollie's.
Home of the free oxen?
Yeah. Ollie, oxen free. I see what you did there.
Exactly. Mhm.
Good stuff, cheap. If you know, you know. Okay.
I'm amazed that Little Willie 42 has the laser lizard.
Lizard.
God damn it. But yeah, so you told me to queue up a topic and then walked away.
Well,
I
I had to go get my wet palette so that I could.
No,
paint things.
download longer ears.
You're an ear.
Is that good?
I don't know. You said it.
Anyway, the question is, like, how do you price your time? How do you, as an artist, if somebody's trying to commission something, if anything in that vein, how do you decide what your time is worth and charge appropriately?
This is a really good question I am still struggling with. We were talking about this before we started, and I find it really hard to answer this question without feeling scuzzy. Because there is obviously a, what is your time worth? What is your expertise worth? What is your access to your equipment worth? And like, that's all logical. And then there's the imposter syndrome. Well, I'm just okay at this, and I feel awful charging for this to start with kind of answer.
I feel you. And before I cut in, like, because I have the least standing here, I'm going to say, Brent, do you have an easy answer to this before we delve into the difficult ones?
No, I hoard everything.
That's legit.
Every once in a while, for some sort of like stupid YouTube collaboration video, or for donating to some charity raffle or something, I'll pawn off miniatures that I painted. But for the most part, if I paint minis, I hoard them. They're important to me.
And that's fair. Like, I have... Brent, you can't possibly know this, but within the Legion, I have been given a nickname that I'm surprised is still there so far. Where usually these things happen and like they're there for a week and then they go away. But this has been there now for like 2 months, so I think it's going to end up permanent. But at one point, somebody was talking about, I wonder how many mechs people have. And I started counting. And I got to counting all of the official mechs I have, and then all of the non-official mechs I have, because I always have to print proofs of concept. I always have to print test models, all that kind of thing. And I came up with having in excess of 550 mechs. Which, if you're talking about Warhammer or something like that, if you have
can
an
do it.
Imperial
You can
Guard
make it.
army, no fucking problem.
4 digits. Let's go.
Oh, God. I ended up
Yes.
as Division Commander Parallax because I have a Star League Defense Force division worth of mechs at this point.
Good
So-
and normal.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's only getting bigger all the time. I don't have a
Correct.
problem. You have a problem. Shut up. But, yeah, so...
I feel like the one without the division of mechs has the bigger problem.
That's true. That's accurate. I'm now being asked, where should we attack? I'm not allowed to make political statements on stream. But, you know, I understand the hoarding problem, is what I'm getting at.
Which is, you know, a good series of answers and a great deep dive.
But not an answer to the question.
Not
you're
answering the
asking.
question. Yeah.
Okay, so I have had people ask about commissioning me for stuff before, as far as painting stuff goes, but nobody ever followed through on it. So I've never had to answer it. I've had to do it on modeling stuff before, and I really think I've lowballed it. But
Okay.
like, I have always stood by, you know, what's your time and expertise worth? What's an hourly rate on this kind of thing? Whatever. And, you know, on modeling, I've said for a while, $20 an hour, which might be low.
Doesn't seem unreasonable.
It might be low, honestly, because it's not as...
It's definitely low, but that's regional.
Yeah. But, you know, I don't feel right charging people more than that. And I usually set a minimum on like at least 10 hours to do this kind of thing. It usually takes 10 hours to model a mech. If I were working on something organic, it would probably take a lot longer. But painting, God, I don't know. Like we were talking about this before.
It sounds about right in the 20 to 25 region. Sounds right.
20 to 25 an hour.
If you are bashful about charging anything at all, right? Like
yeah. Like I said,
I think there's some true pros out there, commission painters, who can very reasonably charge a higher amount. But,
yes.
If someone's like, hey, you like painting, right? You wanna paint my stuff? Then I think you owe it to yourself to say a number that is at least 20.
Yeah.
But.
And just having looked at this and done a little bit of research, it seems like, you know, there are levels to this where like $10 an hour is where you are if you're like starting out and you're willing to paint something for someone, and it has paint on it to put on the table. Cool. That's fine.
For $10 an hour, you got to be real careful about your materials charge, you know, materials costs too.
Yeah.
Because depending on how much paint and brushes and glue and everything you're consuming during that time, like that
can get to be a problem.
Much more than breaking even sometimes. Yeah.
But, you know, 20 to 25 from what I've seen is the bottom level of that intermediate stage. Now, I'm not Sam Lenz. I'm not going to be Sam Lenz. I'm not going to be like,
I don't think he charges 20 an hour.
No, I imagine he charges a multiple of that. Especially, like, depending on where you want that to be, I kind of bet his time is worth a fair bit more than that. But, you know, if you decide that I need something painted by the very best of people that paint things, I would be shocked if you were coming in below $60 an hour for someone at that level. And for as many hours as something can take at that level, you could be in for a real bill. But for tabletop ready, most of the time you don't need that. For tabletop ready that looks good, you don't need that.
So all I'm going to throw out here is that I have heard the other side of this as a more actionable set, because And you're going over like current market rate and what have you there. But the other option is, what do you want to be paid per hour? And how many hours is this going to take in your estimation and experience? And then you got some real simple math. And if it's not worth it, it's not worth it.
That's fair. That is absolutely fair. Like, if you're looking at this in terms of this is a side hustle, that makes it different immediately. And not just, I'm doing this in my spare time, I'm doing this as a favor. Like, if you are actually making a small business venture out of this, it's a whole other ballgame. And I think at that point, like, if somebody came to me and asked me what I was comfortable charging per hour, and I was like going to be really honest as far as what I was comfortable with, I don't think I'd charge below 25.
Okay.
I don't feel great about that. But like,
no, but it's reasonable. And the other part is sometimes customers are not.
Yeah. And Mini Hulk is making a great point in chat, if you want to catch that.
Yeah. Mini Hulk is saying, but someone who is really talented should be able to produce the work a lot faster, and that's fair. And that's why you have to adjust that rate.
Yeah, because like
your hourly rate goes up as the amount of work per hour you can do goes up.
Yeah, it's quantity and quality at that point.
Which you would think it would go down, but you're not fighting a constant battle. You are working your own quality. And I realize I'm taking a lot of oxygen here for being the dude who's not doing art stuff in this chat. So I'm going to say, Brent, I demand your opinions immediately. They must emerge fully formed and perfect.
I feel like $20. You know, it's a nice round number. Easy to do the multiplications, I guess. $20.
That's also reasonable.
Let me pump the brakes on that. Brent, if it were you and someone came to you and asked, because I know that you have the skill to charge more than $20 an hour, what would you actually ask for?
It's hard to answer that question. I'm just so conditioned being a YouTuber that kind of I have the option of teaching a whole bunch of people how to paint in that time. And so I don't know. I'm biased in that particular way of that I'd rather make a video showing people how to paint that model.
And that's also fair.
Rather than do the hour by hour, model by model approach. But,
and that's absolutely legit. And you know, at some point I want to ask you something building on that. Oh my God, it's 15 till midnight. We're going late tonight, guys, unless Brent and Squick have a problem.
I am the problem.
Well, yeah, we knew that.
Though I do want to chime in on the end of this.
Not on camera.
Yeah, well, we're busy. We're having a good time.
God, that hurt. This desk isn't high enough.
But at the same time, the other side of that is if what you're in there for isn't necessarily like making it a side hustle, it's just either replenishing supplies or just something so somebody's not taking it for granted, then that also really changes the math.
It does.
So you have to figure out what you're in it for and what it's going to take. And yeah, as Brent said, you know, if your goal is something other than the immediate painting of the model, maybe it's taken care of some other way. I don't know. At the very least, it should be enough to get you some snack food because snacks are hella good.
It's true. If you can't go out and buy a bag of dried chickpeas to reconstitute and cook over the course of like 10 hours, then what's the point of life?
Para, I think you might be using snacks wrong.
The bag was $2. Leave me alone.
Okay.
I made hummus.
Let's see. You want more from chat or you want something else from the list?
Well, if chat has any... Oh, God. I'm not going to ask what Mad Ducks has done now. That is absolutely a coincidence because he's not some kind of minor deity of coincidence at all. Significant.
No, coincidences happen every day.
Yes, to Mad Ducks.
Especially when Mad Ducks is nearby.
Yes. He's like that guy from The Hitchhiker's Guide who happens to be a rain god, but he doesn't know it. That's Mad Ducks with coincidence.
Yeah, that sounds normal. Very normal. No more concern. Concern is illegal now.
But you heard it here first, folks. Okay, if chat has anything, please ignore the temporal rift. Oh, okay, we're not going to worry about space-time. That's fine.
We fixed it yesterday. I wouldn't worry about it when it shows up tomorrow. But TypeHulsar85 is saying, Parallax, have you considered ever making a diorama with your painting skills?
In fact, I have done a couple of them.
I have some. They're really neat.
He has got one of my micro dioramas. Is yours lit or not?
It is.
It is.
It's cool as hell.
You got a hunchback, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got like 2 snow globes and 1 square case.
Okay. Yeah,
and
so
they are like
snow
kings of the
globes are
bookshelf.
great. God, I love snow globes for this purpose. Like plastic snow globes, they're amazing for the purpose of making dioramas, like micro dioramas. I've done several of those. I did a diorama early on, like before I started the show, for a friend of mine that I don't immediately have the PDF he put together, but he was making an art zine that was all art based off of Game Boy games and like the experience of playing Game Boy games and your impression of them and all this stuff, right? And I don't remember what he called the zine, but I asked him at one point, can I give you a diorama for it? Because everything else there was traditional or digital art. And he was like, that sounds amazing. What can you do? And I did a Metroid 2 Return of Samus diorama where I made a cave scene and I had the Chozo statue and it's holding like the power-up ball and it's a picture over its shoulder looking at Samus as she's walking into the room, and it's got like the door behind her and like a cave and all this stuff. And I did it all in shades of that Game Boy yellow-green.
Ooh.
So like it had a vibe.
Okay.
I could probably do it better now, but at the time I was pretty happy with it. God, that's been a couple of years since I did that.
And Brent, I'm going to extend the same question to you because I'm dead curious about your own history with dioramas and applying your painting skills to them.
I haven't done a ton. I mean, I like the idea, you know, a little extended display base. I like that, but no, I haven't done a ton.
Okay.
I don't have much to report back to you on that. There's a few kind of, you know, half-assed dioramas on the YouTube channel, like things I kind of tried on for a video, but nothing too crazy. I like the idea of them. Like one of my favorite painting competitions or whatever in the Warhammer side of things is their Armies on Display or Armies on Parade event, where you get a 2-foot by 2-foot display board for your Warhammer army, and the idea is that you, I don't know, add some terrain to it and have your guys stand on a little castle on the display board or whatever, and those always make me happy.
That does sound like a cool
dioramas are cool, and I actually, you know, in any miniature game, my favorite part is just laying the models on the table, you know, across from each other, and
Squick,
to me is more fun than the actual game. So,
Squick, I'm going to bullseye you on something real quick because you did something in the not so distant past that was similar to an experiment Brent did a little bit back with mini war games, where they did the cinematic battle report. Which, guys, if you didn't see that, that was cool as hell. Where they did a game of one-page rules, Grimdark Future. And they had like a professional camera crew come in and use like robot camera to like zoom in and zoom out and do all the. It was cool as hell. But Squick, you did something like that. Something
well, we
like
did like
that.
The $3 fan film version. As far as I know, it's still in editing. But mostly, I've learned. And this is going to shock you. Miniatures are really small.
Does that affect what kind of lens you use?
It affects not only that, but it means if you want them to look big, you're zoomed in so far that like any motion of the camera itself is super exaggerated.
Are you beginning to understand why I've had such a pain in the ass with this DSLR and getting the close-up camera set up?
Matt, you are using like
Very
80
small.
You're using 90% of the wrong tools for the job, and we're making it work.
I don't know what the right tool is.
Oh, that's the good news is that's easy. For your use case, a lens with a really long focal length.
Okay.
But, we're using what we got, and we're making it work.
Okay. Coincidentally, I'm using the same lens I was using 2 weeks ago because I just moved the camera, and it worked better.
Yeah, you want depth of field. That's the thing you want.
Yes, and trying to get strong depth of field. Lighting turned out to be lighting is always important. In this case, it
Lots of
was
lights.
more critical than usual.
You just reminded me to turn those on. I'm only sitting here with 5 lights on. At some point, I've got to get like one of those arc lights. Like this is, I feel silly.
Yes, the ideal option for miniature painting, a carbon arc lamp.
No, not an arc light, not an arc lamp, an LED light that is an arc that goes over the desk.
So I prefer my way.
Okay, sure. It'll be loud as shit and terrible for recording.
Yeah, just like me.
Yeah, just like Squick. Oh God.
But no, the other side of that was once we got things dialed in, and there was a whole just clown patrol getting the camera slider set up. But once it was in, like the parallax effect of that slider doing its work when we got everything lined up, was just
me. It was a me effect.
Yes, thank you, Para. That is correct. It was a you effect.
I'm helping.
But no, when everything was dialed in, just looking at the monitor, that it looked magical. It's just that this is correct moment, and that's rare, and it's real nice when it happens.
Brent, how was your experience with actually doing that? Because I remember the build up to that, and like I don't know how that video did, but it was really cool whenever it did go up. But like how did you feel doing that?
Well, so for any battle reports, there's so much depends on the roll of the dice, like the actual game itself.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, that was just a game. We put a little bit of thought into, how we would set up the terrain on the board and what the setup of the armies would be beforehand. But then it's just there's so much effort going into the lighting and the cameras and just the sheer number of like gigabytes of footage that are being taken for that, and it's still just like, all right, some games just don't turn out entertaining. And so it's interesting that for putting a lot of effort into filming a battle report or filming yourself playing a game, like it still comes down to is there even like an interesting plot to be followed along with what the dice are given to you. So that I think that's one of the more interesting takeaways, is just one of the reasons like that format of video or content is so hard, is that I don't know, some games are just not. And I think like in that particular example, it was a fine game. It wasn't, I don't think it was notable good or notable bad. Like I think it was probably just pretty average.
Game.
But yeah, it was a game.
Sometimes you have, like, to say the BattleTech game, you have the urban mech gets the through armor critical on the opposing Atlas with its small laser on turn 3, because they both got close enough to each other somehow to do that. But yeah, like that's probably a lousy game, but that's a hype as hell moment to have. Does it make for an entertaining match? I don't know.
I got ones where things go weird, but I don't know. Ours was less battle report and more miniatures in filming. So, like, it completely avoided the narrative aspect or the dice fueled narrative aspect.
The
but
random element.
It just seems like so much fun.
Which part? The filming?
I mean, most of it, but honestly, I just want to play with the robot.
Well, I mean, do I need to send you more robot?
No, I mean the camera robot.
Oh, the camera robot.
Like, all the cool people get to play with camera robots. I don't have a camera robot. I'd put googly eyes on it.
No, you do have a camera robot. It's called a drone.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, I actually, last week I used a drone for the first time. I had not done it yet. And I swear to God, I almost hit a bald eagle. Like, I just took the drone straight up in the air.
I almost committed a federal crime by accident. It was great.
Yeah, I just took the drone straight up in the air. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I was like, I didn't even go anywhere with it. It was just
What's
straight
that big
up,
bald eagle
and
shape
I was
thing?
like, I was just like, I turned around a little bit, moved the camera gimbal a little bit on it, and then just this freaking like fully grown bald eagle flies right by the drone. I'm just like, oh no! I just landed it. But that is a camera robot, I'd say.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
You're not happy about it, but
I'm not unhappy. I've got other thoughts on the drone industry in general, but mostly it boils down to I'm mad that I can't have the fancy ones that'll just lift a sofa.
That would really help with getting set up to my office. God, Squick, you've seen the stairs up to my office. They are not what you'd call friendly.
Yeah, so you could have a robot bring you more stairs.
There you go. I don't think that's what I want, but okay. I got too many stairs as it is. The dog doesn't like the stairs.
And okay, so we get a robot for the dog. This plan keeps getting better.
Oh, good. Good. She needs that. She needs that. She needs a dog to carry her about.
Yeah, jetpack dog. Hell yeah.
Oh, okay. So while we're between subjects, Brent, I have a very important question to ask you. And
let's go.
Okay. So I think you've done this a couple of times. I don't think it's been just once, but for the purpose of chat and for the purpose of education, what color Space Marine catches the most fish?
I think the Ultramarines actually did pretty well, but no, the yellows, the Imperial Fist, like, it makes sense. That did pretty well. But yeah, for anyone listening who doesn't know what's going on, I literally took a handful of Space Marines, painted them up, drilled a hole straight down the middle from the top of their helmet to the bottom of the crotch, and like rigged them up as literal fishing lures. Put a swivel on one end, put a treble hook on the other, and went out in my canoe and went fishing, and actually caught a lot of fish. The fish do not care. The fish do not care.
God, that is such an unhinged, amazing story. Did you just make one video on that? Because I feel like there was two.
I made two. But
I feel like that needs to be an annual thing. I don't know what that does to the algorithm or the views. It just
neither do I. It's not great. Like, it's a ton of effort, but getting up to the lake.
Well, you see, that's what the drone is for.
And editing down. That's true. I would add to that. I would add to that video. That's for sure. That's for sure.
There, that's the opposite of lowering the amount of effort.
No, it's fine. No more questions.
No, that's at this point I would definitely do that. You got to keep upping it each time. That's the thing. So next time would need a drone, absolutely. And I've watched the fishing channels, where people go out on their bass boats and go fishing, and they all have drones. Like,
well, there you go.
It adds a lot of production value. Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
They're not fishing with Space Marines, but
that's their loss.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah. Deep striking.
I wonder if Chaos Marine. I wonder if Nurgle Marines would catch more because they already kind of look wormy.
Or would they just be fishing with dynamite?
What, catching all of them because they're dead?
It does seem easier.
No,
that's a heck of a YouTube video. I went fishing with dynamite.
It's just going to be the Slanesh.
Comments on that one. Yeah.
It's just all going to be like the Slanesh Marines because they're just too damn sexy and the fish can't resist.
You get that sweet YouTube face, and you just holding up a stick of dynamite.
Okay, so you could do that if it's a dynamite mini. No, just hear me out. Just a mini of dynamite, and you throw it in with like the Space Marine. Well, you've done Space Marine, so now what other fishing techniques will work? Can you get dynamite, hand grenade?
And here I was going to be, oh yeah, you use orcs this time, and Squix just jumped straight to, oh yeah, we're using M80s now.
It's a model of an M80.
Sure, it's a model of an M80 that happens to be full of an M80.
1-to-1 scale model with original materials.
There you go.
No, you're not exploding the fish.
Why? You'll catch more of them that way. Water is an excellent method of moving shockwaves.
Look, man, I don't know what version of Pokemon you've been playing, but I don't think that's tournament legal.
Now, Squick, I'm going to tell you one thing on the grounds of what you're telling me right now, and like you can't even deny it. Are you ready? You may not like it, but it's super effective.
It has the same energy as I'm going to show you how to make a bomb out of nothing more than a roll of toilet paper and a stick of dynamite.
There you go. Listen, you didn't say it was a good bomb. You didn't say it was an original
We're
bomb.
not going to the Dale Gribble School of How to Fish
sand.
Good.
Why not?
Don't pocket sand the fish. Do not.
Brent's real glad he came
very
along this
rude.
week. There's nothing weird happening here.
It's all good. I told you I didn't have any other Thursday plans. It's all good.
I'm just going to waste my time with these idiots. It's fine. It's fine.
Hello.
71 other people are here. It's all good.
We've had as high as 95 tonight. Like, you drew a crowd.
Not bad. Not bad. Hey, you got a good raid. You got a raid in there.
We did. We got a couple of raids, actually. But, you know, I'm always mystified by, like, back when Twitch would actually publish these numbers, like where they'd say, if you have a number of people that are actually regularly showing up for a stream, you are in X percentage of streamers. And it is a depressingly low number to be at like 95%.
Fair, but
there's a lot of
we get
people
to be
out
here
there
and
streaming.
hang out and
Yes.
have a good time.
Yes, there's a lot of people out there streaming to empty rooms, is all I'm getting at.
Yep.
So, in other words, hey, chat, we appreciate you.
We do.
Thanks for being here.
We do. I haven't talked much to chat this week, but chat, hey.
Hey.
I think Brent said this to us earlier, but keep your stick on the ice. He may have said that before the stream started. I don't know.
I mean, you can't just solve all of your problems by being violently Canadian.
Why?
Yeah, that's a fair point. I hadn't considered that.
Now, Brent, I wanted to ask you a question about... Okay. We talked about this before. Let's hit on this real quick. Because we did mention earlier that at this point, if you go to goblinhobbies.com, he has stuff in stock right now. He and Casey actually have plates you can buy. They have the intro set, and they have individual plates, whereas before it was intro and literally everything. You can get individual plates now. But But you've got a couple of things that you're cooking right now. What can we talk about as far as that goes?
Oh, Goblin Hobbies is cooking. Yeah, we got we're for sale in the United States. I think all the Europeans are sleeping right now, but we're for sale in Europe right now too, except for the UK because they didn't want to be part of Europe, but we'll get to them eventually. And what else? Yeah.
Sooner or later, you're getting the kids.
We'll get there. We're sending some across the ocean. The UK will have their chance. I promise. We'll get them stamping.
They'll get goblined.
Yeah.
But
Goblin Hobbies. Tell your friends.
But in addition to that, like you have some projects that you have, we'll say,
tell us about the
subtly
super
hinted
secret
at.
hush hush.
Yeah, that you've subtly hinted at something, a new product that may be in progress.
Oh, we got many, but you might be talking about new Goblin miniatures.
New Goblin miniatures.
Right now, if you're a 3D printer fan, you can go to goblinhobbies.com, sign up for the mailing list, and get 4 Goblin miniature STLs for free. But
one moment, I have to go do something unrelated to everything you just said.
Yeah, so we're Goblin Hobbies, and we made our little logo as these 2 goblin siblings. There's annoying little brother and big sister, Nugget and Elma, and mostly that's just an excuse that now we can call it a marketing expense to make miniatures.
Perfect.
Make our little mascots into minis and just make new goblin minis. So
and it's a tax write-off. Perfect.
Perfect. So we have, some in STL form, and earlier this year we had some made in Cyocast, kind of a smaller batch in Cyocast, but over the last couple of months we've been working with War Games Atlantic, who's a company that does actual hard plastic injection molding in the United States. I think the factory is in Florida.
For those of you that are wondering, War Games Atlantic also has a My Mini Factory store for STLs, but that's not pertinent to the current conversation.
Yep. So we're making the leap. We're getting a sprue, just a little sprue, but a sprue of hard plastic goblins. And we're taking our same character design for those, but we commissioned War Games Atlantic to design the bits for a modular sprue. And so a little sprue is going to come with, the base and the torso attached to the legs. And then you've got a couple options for heads, couple options for each arm. So you could give them different weapons. You give them shields or hammers or swords, axes, whatever. And we just got a nice little sprue kit. But for those of you who don't know, making an injection molding mold is actually a pretty serious investment, and it's just again marketing cost. Write it off, but it's one of those things that costs a lot of money to actually make the mold, and then in theory, once you have the mold, it's quite cheap per injection shot to make the sprues. But
there was a number floating around back during one of the Catalyst BattleTech Kickstarters that they were floating around, and I don't know how big their plates were, but they were floating around between $10,000 and $20,000 per plate, per die.
I mean, that order of magnitude, it was not quite that bad, but it's definitely a big investment. And yes, it does depend on how big the sprue is and how many sprues you're making. We're just making the smallest possible size that they had, but gets our 2 goblins on there. But yes, it is absolutely a many thousands of dollars kind of investment. And,
I feel like if we got all of the Legion together, we could do something really dumb right now, but we won't talk about that right now.
So do it. Get them hyped up.
Madeir Tex.
Make
Let's
a purchase.
Something real dumb.
Oh God.
So Ox, Ox, no Ox. You have your own bills. No.
No, but what is the process to get something that create? Wow, that sentence. I'm gonna take a mulligan on that one.
I could put those words together. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you can. My mouth
creating something like that.
Yeah.
So the reason you hire professionals is because they know what they're doing. And for something like this, what we did is actually the reason we used War Games Atlantic to start off with I'd been a little bit familiar with them of kind of just their weirdo modular kits. Like I know Malev is doing that Great Helm game, and basically he just bought a modular knight kit, like fantasy knights, not like mech knights, but or medieval knights. He just bought a medieval plastic knight kit from War Games Atlantic, sorry,
Okay.
and made up some knights and made a game about knights fighting it out in medieval Europe or whatever. And they make Quar and they make generic sci-fi minis, and they've got a lot of plastic sprues over there. But the model that really got me interested was from the Two Thin Coats, the Duncan's paint line, and he has his little mascot mini of Sir Coates, which is just a single piece mini. It's like a little knight guy holding up a big paintbrush. But that's the mini that they use for a lot of their paint and take events and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's on this little plastic sprue, and it's just perfect for what it is. Like it does the job of being a plastic mascot mini very, very well.
It
And,
is
it says,
marketing piece, recognizable.
Yes, yes. Um, but the quality of that plastic's really nice, and I don't know. There's models that just tickle you, and that was one that's like, okay, it's doing what it is very, very well. And the sprue says, Two Thin Coats, Sir Coats, whatever. And it also says manufactured by War Games Atlantic. So I actually asked Bob Watts, who's the CEO over at Transatlantis Games, um, Transatlantis Games, their main product is the Two Thin Coats line, and asked him for the introduction to Board Games Atlantic. Got talking to those guys, and like, all right, we want to do kind of the same thing, but goblins and modular. And so we paid professionals to take our character designs that we already had from like the STLs that we have up on our website and stuff, and adapt them for the purpose of being on a multi-part sprue, and went through a whole iteration process, which does involve a lot of 3D printing of like, hey, what if these bits were on the sprue? Okay, print them out, see if we like them. There's a whole back and forth getting the bits optimized. And probably actually the most interesting part of that process was at the very end when we have our models and our bits, and you got the axe arm and the sword arm and whatever. It's like, all right, how many of these bits are gonna fit on this small half sprue? And we were all ready to be like, okay, we can ditch this shield if we have to, and we don't need the axe arm out to the side, and I'd be willing to ditch this one if we really had to make room. But then it turned out we could actually fit every single one of those options onto the sprue, and then we're like, oh, actually, now I feel weird because there's like too many. One of the arms has like 4 different options, like the arm socket. There's only one torso in the set, but there's one of the arms. There's like 4 different arms you could put on, and which actually feels like too many options. But that's a good problem to have. That'll be all right.
So I'm hearing you've created a well-armed goblin.
Boo!
Yes.
Boo!
Yes.
And Brent's over here saying, now 4 options is a lot on a sprue, and I'm just thinking, I think I released a mini as an STL last month that had like 16 arms.
Well, that's pretty good.
You can make so many rude gestures with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's different when you're 3D printing and you have different, like, oh yeah, this one has, God, what did I make? I made something that had like 7 or 8 variants, to where it's like, oh yeah, we've got 7 or 8 arms and I've got them in these different poses. So it's like 3 different poses for each arm across 7 or 8 of them. So it's like, oh yeah, it's like 24 arms. What's the problem?
That seems like a lot of arms.
It takes a while, especially when you're pre-supporting them. It takes a while. And then you sell them for $5 or $6 each, and then you watch them sell like 1 a day, and you're just like, I spent time on that.
There you go, buddy. It's well on the way to getting yourself a burrito or something.
Yeah, I can almost get a cup of coffee if I go to the gas station. I say that I've done solidly okay on that. I'm not complaining.
There are worse things in life than being burrito motivated.
It's true. There are. Sometimes you're coffee motivated because you have to wake up in the mornings.
Actually, mornings are bad though.
Well, yeah, but not all of us are drinking grape ? Energy drink, Squid.
It contained ingredients.
Yeah, well, sure.
Nothing that has ever happened is my fault.
Yeah, that sounds like you. And then you accidentally sent them to someone else. So, what could possibly go wrong?
May have been the best part. Like, just comedically.
He's enjoyed the hell out of.
True. Which is also concerning. Now we have, like, a caffeinated ducks.
Well, yeah, but he's been giving it to coworkers just to see how, big their eyes get. It's been great.
Yeah,
we're going to have to talk about that on next Thursday. Duck says that you need to go read the last thing he said. I don't know what that was, but oh God. We had other things on the list. While we're talking about things that are in the future. Hey, Brent, you have something you can't talk about.
I can't talk about our license deals to get license plates for various games.
But what if I make really big eyes and be like, okay,
I could pull the picture of the dog back up.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we actually had some of our license plates with us at Nova. We went to Nova. We had a little booth there, which was nice for Goblin Hobbies, and we had actually just gotten in the mail from the factory. I think we had 17 like alpha plates for possible upcoming releases. Our first wave, our first launch, we had 10 different plates filled with designs that you could stamp onto miniatures. But the business plan is to keep coming out with cool designs that you might want to put on your minis, and some of those are going to be in collaboration with game companies you may have heard of, and some of those are just more cool stuff we want to do, and we are deep in the process of figuring out what our next release is going to be. We did a ton of testing in the last couple of weeks just to make sure that all the designs actually transfer the way we want them to, and most of them do. A few of them will adjust, and then I don't know. The plan is to just keep coming out with more designs. We're trying to figure out what we want that release cadence to be like right now. We'll see what we do. We're thinking maybe 5 new plates at a time. Yeah,
I want to ask you a question about the experience of suddenly collaborating with game manufacturers on this. Like when you started this, it was, I have what are effectively designs we've made, or designs that are, how shall we say, public enough that, there's not a problem with putting these out there. And now suddenly you're doing licensed designs. One, how does that feel? 2, what's the experience with working with those companies like?
Right. I mean, so to a degree, these companies have done licensing deals with other folks before, whether that's for paint sets or whatever. And so a lot of them do have prior experience in doing a licensing deal, but basically
what's
the way
it like
that works
for you?
Oh, the experience?
Yeah.
I mean, cool, big time stuff. Yeah, we're it's just one of the signs that Goblin Hobbies is becoming a real little company here, and doing big boy stuff and doing cool things. So
hell yeah.
So Casey and I came to selling our Stampin' Plates. We came to this business having previously or already been established YouTubers. And being a YouTuber is fun because you can generally get people to pick up the phone if you want. So, especially in a relatively small industry like miniature war games or tabletop games, like generally a good sized YouTuber has enough clout to be able to get some of the decently higher ups at like a medium sized game company to at least give them half an hour to talk and meet and chat things over. So we were already in a pretty good position to just be able to talk with some of these game companies, which is fun to meet people doing cool things and other creative folks getting cool minis and games out into the world. Um, so in some ways, it was just an extension of what YouTubers already do when they're trying to trying to get scoops and information out of game companies. But um, yeah, it's neat to be working together to make something that's going to be useful to anyone who cares about these model lines, or a cool way to put those iconographies and stuff onto the minis.
Yeah.
And yeah, so in some cases, like it's these companies have their folders and their little treasure troves of the icons that really do belong to them, and so write up a little contract that gives us access to those for a certain amount of monies, and they give us the folder and put it on a plate, see if there's any other cool stuff we want to put on the plate that would be useful for the setting. And yeah, that's all in progress. Fun stuff's coming up from Goblin Hobbies.
Has the amount of time you've had to invest into this lately affected your release schedule for YouTube?
Oh, have you checked my channel recently?
There might have been a reason I asked the question.
No, yes. It turns out running a little startup company actually takes a lot of time, and I've been spending much of my days selling stamps for miniatures, which is in some ways a nice little break for making YouTube videos, but I have so many videos that I've filmed that I haven't released yet that I need to make a little more time for editing. But never enough hours in the day. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Fair. I'm going to interrupt briefly because, Para, I have the important ducks comment.
Oh, good. Go.
Oh?
I can only describe the flavor as, quote, it designed and or tastes legally similar to a grape spree that decided that it wanted to be liquid, read part of the instruction manual, skipped a few steps, did it wrong, and still got the end result arguably correct. It has both all the taste of a spree and all the texture of a spree, despite being liquid, and none of those qualities that it has of the spree. It is both a drink that you can have and a liquid that you can ingest. It has qualities and properties that I can only describe as, quote, that is definitely a liquid that I have consumed and a flavor that I have experienced, end quote.
So it's grape flavored Malort?
No, it's not that cursed. It's just
It's not that cursed.
Describe a flavor to an alien and then they have produced something that technically fits that description.
Wow. I just love the fact that there's even a question there.
It's concept flavored.
What are we doing?
Our best.
Are we? Are we sure?
No. But we're trying.
Well, that's a painting handle that went to the nether.
I got it. Oh, now you can join the Blue Hand group.
I got most of the airbrush paint off of there. Mad Ducks, I have to sell the other house before I have discretionary stupid budget. Believe me.
Yeah, but right now you have like one house for each ass cheek.
Yeah, well, the problem is that they're about 1,000 miles apart, and I can't put ass cheeks in both of them.
Oh,
This has
yeah,
been a
that would be a bit of a
conversation
spread.
that you've experienced.
I'm helping? Question mark?
The question mark is appropriate, yes.
Thank you for following, Raymond. Bold timing.
That is certainly something that happened.
But we're happy to have you.
Yes. And I'm certain at this point Brent is very glad that he agreed to be here and not just like, these guys are dumb. And
It can be both.
We are.
I'm capable of tuning out when I know I need to tune out. It's all good.
That is called a survival mechanism.
Yeah. No, last time I was on here, I was fishing in World of Warcraft.
You were?
I was able to get some. Yeah.
What'd you decide to do this week?
I was thinking of getting into Minecraft. I've actually just kind of been sitting here, but Minecraft, I like that.
Well,
Just
I
get
tell you
down
what
in mines.
what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to get one of these damn things close to finished, which, frankly, I'm pretty close.
Yeah, those are coming along, huh?
Yeah, they really are. Like, I've got a rhythm here. I know what I was going for. I'm not aiming for super high quality. I'm aiming for better than just get it on the tabletop. So, like, I'm getting a wash on it. At some point, it may be worth going through and putting a dry brush on it, but it has to dry before all that can happen. But, like, considering I've been, we're looking at maybe an hour and a half on the actual painting of these things, not including the priming. I feel like on 4 models, I'm doing okay.
Yeah, those are looking dang good. Paint those bases, you'll be good to go.
Oh yeah, like the bases will get the bases will actually get some ballast and stuff to them, but I want stuff to dry first, because otherwise I have problems.
Seems reasonable.
Does it?
I don't know. At this point, I'm tired. I'm delighted to be here, but my banter well is, if not dry, then at least doing that thing a car does when it's low on gas, where it's like, it's fine, it's not fine. Okay, and we're back. And then you keep running through that cycle again and again as the brain juices continue to flow because you have oscillated correctly. Good job.
So it's a Craftsman wireless drill that you bought in 1993 with a NiCad battery, and it's getting real low, and the battery's not in good shape anymore.
Oh yeah, package deal with the snake light.
Yeah. No, that was Black & Decker.
It was Black & Decker, but I swear there was a DeWalt co-branded one.
There might have been, but I said Craftsman.
You did say Craftsman.
It's the snake light from Black & Decker. It goes around. Why do I remember this jingle?
Because their marketing team was certainly on something, and they channeled the greater zeitgeist of humanity.
I guess they channeled the Wanderer right into it.
This is considered a great advantage.
The Wanderer?
Sure.
I mean, it worked for Fallout 4. I guess I can't complain too much.
Was it in Fallout 4?
It was in the ad material for Fallout 4.
Okay.
It's kind of like the song "The Passenger" by Iggy Pop. I don't think it was in the Outer Planets, but it was in the advertising material for the Outer Planets. Outer Worlds, I'm sorry. Outer Planets is a different game. That released at the same damn time. That will always confound me for the rest of my life.
I don't know, there was, what was Space Capitalism fight game, not Fallout?
Wasn't that the Outer Worlds?
Mm,
or are you talking about Starfield?
I'm not talking about Starfield, but I think I'm conflating the Outer Worlds and the Outer Wilds.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem. So Outer Worlds was the one that came from, I want to say Black Isle. Is it Black Isle? It wasn't Black Isle. What?
It might have been Black Isle. They made a lot of things.
Yeah, I don't think Obsidian, yes. Obsidian was the company that came out of Black Isle after Black Isle went under back in the early aughts.
Okay. Then, yes, that one.
Yes. That was the one that had the Iggy Pop song in the advertising. It's a good song, though.
So, I'm going to expose some of my ignorance here real quick. I don't actually know what an Iggy Pop is. I assume it is an ice cream thing.
Iggy Pop was a punk artist of the 1970s and potentially the 60s. I'd have to look. He toured with David Bowie, and at the time, he had the moniker of the most dangerous man in music.
Okay, for what reason?
I don't actually know. I haven't ever figured that one out. Also, he is still alive, yes.
I can't take that for granted these days. Time marches ever forward, and I'm not a fan of it.
You're not wrong. Brent, in your chemistry background, have you found a way to influence time and space and overcome entropy?
Can't help you on that one, boss.
Damn.
Unfortunate.
Okay, but what about hyperalcohol?
Oh yeah, I've got some leads. Yeah.
That just raises further questions.
Got some promising formulations here.
Oh, excellent. We're going to have super bourbon next month. It's going to be great. I mean, it can't
Does that
be next
imply
month.
the existence of the suburban?
Yeah, suburban is called Old Crow.
Oh, I thought it was a car.
I'm really mad right now. Like that was offensive, and my Kentuckian nature is I've got some Cassius Clay coming for you next time I see you. And like, if you look that name up, the answer to the question of which one is both.
Well, that's ominous.
It is. One of them was Muhammad Ali. The other one was the guy Muhammad Ali was named after, that once got shot during a political speech, and the bullet reflected off of the Bowie knife in his coat, so he stabbed the guy to death.
Bold maneuver, hard to argue against.
Yeah, there were attempted assassinations against him during political speeches a few times. The man died of old age.
All right, fair enough. Though I'm reading chat, and this is both a great blessing and terrible curse, because now I have seen Evil Stew saying, and now I want a bourbon mech.
I think that's a thing. I think somebody's done that. Like, I do think there's an urban mech out there that is like a square bottle torso that looks like a bottle of Maker's Mark. Okay, let's see if I can get this adjusted so that the mechs are actually in shot, because the cat really screwed up my camera last week.
Ooh.
There you go.
Ooh. But you have screwed it back
that
down.
depth of field problem there, but
yeah,
the ones in focus are looking real good.
Damn. Well,
it's an issue of dealing with the minis, my man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
the
everything
autofocus
about
is
physics
on.
is conspiring.
It is, and I don't know that I can do anything. I gave it the half press on. Well, it did something.
Yeah, now it's focused on the front one.
Cool.
You can also change focusing modes. Right now, it's probably in make the centermost thing in
so
focus mode.
So here's the thing. Yes, I can, but in order to do that, I have to unplug it from my computer where the video feed is going.
Oh, yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. Yeah, because micro HDMI is apparently a thing?
It should not be a standard, but it is. It's better than micro VGA.
That's a terrifying statement. Good God, don't ever say that again.
Man, Asus ZenBook UX31A. It's a pretty machine, but the moment any maintenance gets involved, it's remove 57 identical screws. Most of them will not go back in.
Okay,
good day.
Mini VGA. I have to ask. With mini VGA, does it have screws on it?
No.
That's disappointing.
No, it's like a micro HDMI jack, but somehow less robust.
Wow.
Like, it just tears out in a circle at the drop of a hat.
That's remarkable.
Oh, yeah, it is legit certified the worst. Not recommended.
Okay, I'm going to move these, and then I'm going to hope it'll focus on something else. I think we're probably petering out on the stream right now, but I want to show off one other thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey, dang good progress.
Thank you. Like I said, it needs basing, it needs some edge highlights or a dry brush, but as far as tabletop ready for an hour and a half on Formex, I'm happy.
Not bad.
And I think that's worth, let's see, $37.50 by our prior math. Okay.
Perry, you're not allowed to use math with numbers.
I have to do it professionally. I'm not happy about it either. Okay. So I have a model I'm working on right now. What I'm going to show you is a working prototype. I have another set of these right now that... Actually, I have an unpainted one right here that's fairly representative, but again, still a work in progress. I've been working on a proxy for the Battletech Huntsman. Some of you are going to know what a Huntsman is. Some of you aren't. That's fine. It was a mech that was in MechWarrior 5 Clans, so if you ran into it there it is. But I've been working on a proxy for that. Let's get that. I think that should... Okay, that is in frame. Is it in focus? What happens if I have to wait for that to catch up? That was the wrong way. And we'll move that a little bit and hope it focuses.
It'll get to it.
Squick, you have the live feed from my camera. So you got to tell me, is that in focus?
I have to juggle windows one moment.
Well, I mean, it's an operating system. How hard can it be? It doesn't have a physical form.
Looks in focus to me.
Okay. So.
Also, you say the Huntsman, and I'm just getting the Freakazoid theme for it.
Freakazoid, chimpanzee.
Hunt, hunt, hunt. He's the
huntsman.
huntsman.
Into action is his cry.
This is great. Like, you can use 90s cartoons to Manchurian Candidate millennials. It's wonderful.
Shut up. In any event, okay, so this was version 1 of the printable version of this. And again, for some of you, you're going to know what I mean when I say the following, and for some of you, you aren't. That's fine. I got told that this model ended up looking, while pretty good, the torso is a little small. Well, I'll put it down and hope that it
waggle the robot, please. It's loving the... Oh, wait. No. Because you have a region selected, and that region is slightly to the right. Okay, there. Okay. It's in focus.
Okay. I got told that this thing looks like a Vulcan that hit the gym.
You're not wrong, but hear me out. Ripped Spock.
Good. Did I tell the story last week about the Star Trek convention?
I don't recall.
Okay, so friend of mine... No, it wasn't a friend of mine. I had a different...
An enemy of mine.
An enemy of mine. I think I read this story online, and I absolutely believe it because I had another friend that had a similar experience.
Mm-hmm.
They were at a Star Trek con because somehow in the age of the pop culture con, Star Trek cons still have enough clout to be their own convention. And he sat down at just at a table. He'd been walking around for a while with his armful of swag, and he was across the aisle from Ethan Peck. Now, Ethan Peck is the actor on Star Trek Strange New Worlds that plays Spock. Also, he's... I've lost the other guy's name. The...
Double Spock.
No. He was a golden age of Hollywood actor, something Peck. Chat's going to get me on that. Gregory Peck. He's Gregory Peck's grandson.
Okay.
So Gregory Peck was the father in To Kill a Mockingbird, for what that's worth. So he's sitting across the aisle from Ethan Peck, and he hears this voice shouting at the top of its lungs from down the aisle. Hey, sexy Spock!
You can't say that.
Well, the guy looked around, and it was Jonathan Frakes.
Grumble, 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 grumble,
Because
grumble.
of course it was.
Why wouldn't it be?
He does it. He does, like, the friend of mine I'm talking about went to a Star Trek con probably like 12 or 13 years ago, and she had this binder of the Star Trek The Next Generation trading cards she had from when she was a kid. Okay? You remember what I'm talking about. They were on god-awful cardstock. It was like they were cut out of cereal boxes. But it had
Yeah, we're talking the trading card game?
Yeah, not even the game, just the trading cards.
Ooh, no, the Decipher game was high quality cards.
Yes, it was.
I enjoyed that game. I wasn't good at it, but I enjoyed it.
Well, I mean, it was better than the Decipher Star Wars game that literally nobody knew how to play.
I knew how to play and won a tournament with it.
You're literally the only person I've ever talked to that knew how to play that game.
That's why I won the tournament.
Yeah, that must be it. But she rolled up to Frakes' table with a binder full of trading cards. And he looks at these things, and he looks up at her, and he goes, "Are those trading cards? I haven't seen trading cards in years." And he stands up, and he shouts across the ballroom, "Hey, Burton!" Shouting at LeVar Burton, "Hey, Burton, this girl's got trading cards!" And just, apparently, this is just Jonathan Frakes. He's just no fucking filter. So, it's just great. Oh, God. Anyway, Vulcan that hit the gym. When this person said this to me, by the way, and actually, I think it might have been Mini Hulk, who was in chat earlier. I think he was the one that said it to me. I did have a response to him. And Brent, I'm sorry, you're probably not going to get this because this is a little bit of a BattleTech deep cut.
I had to figure out that Vulcan was a type of tech.
Yeah, it's a pretty awful medium mech. But with that said, it popped up and he was like, "That's a Vulcan that hit the gym," and I responded to him with, "Inner Sphere Surrot, do you even lift, Queen Egg?"
I'm grumbling. I'm grumbling.
But
and
you can't be mad at that.
Your spheroid influence shows.
Well, it's not my fault that this thing is a member of Clan Jim Bro.
We are not calling it that.
Why not?
I'll get back to you when I come up with an excuse.
Okay, so this was basically printed version 1. This is printed version 2. Printed version 3 is living on my build plate right now because I'm trying to part it out, and the torso isn't quite big enough for the sockets to fit into it, but this is what it will look like whenever it comes up on camera. And let's move it over to like that a little bit.
Cookie, no!
Oh God, what'd she do?
Clan Apocalypse Jim.
Well, howdy there, folks.
Apocalypse.
It's almost spooky.
Jim.
We're going to confuse the hell out of Brent with Apocalypse Jim. Brent, don't ask.
I'm playing Minecraft.
That's a good move right now.
You have made the correct decision, and I respect it.
Oh God, the Ox is going to run with a Clan Apocalypse Jim. Okay, this is version 2. You can see that the shoulders got bigger and the torso got more filled out along the sides. Okay, actually this was before I did the lower torso getting wider, but yeah, it's just getting a little bit more bulked out, so it doesn't just look like Vulcan the Popeye Man.
Yeah, truly you have solved the greatest problem from version 1. Insufficiently large shoulders.
Okay. 1, shut up. 2, version 3 has the wider, lower torso, so he doesn't look like he's a Dorito.
I mean, Doritos have powerful flavor.
Some of them do. Some of them do. I remember some years ago they made a flavor where They couldn't figure out what the hell it tasted like, so they literally just threw it out there with like code name Dorito X23, and they didn't ever apply a flavor name to it. And that is the most confusing damn flavor I've ever tasted, because I'm pretty sure what they intended was not, this Dorito tastes like tartar sauce, but it kind of did.
Well, I mean, do you have like a cursed snack sommelier, and like you pair that with Coca-Cola Y2000 flavor?
Yes, I do. The answer to who is, that's you, asshole.
How is anything my fault?
Squick.
What?
What kind of gummies did you bring to the meetup last year?
Look, macaroni and cheese flavored gummies is a perfectly normal gift to bring to your enemies.
And what was it the year before?
Was that bacon? It might have been bacon.
It was bologna.
No, it was hot dogs. Yeah, that was the gummy hot dogs year.
God, I hope you do it again this year when I can't make it so that other people have to experience it. Oh, gummy hot dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not in chat at this point, but...
I mean, my dude, I'm barely in chat at this point.
Okay.
It's late. I'm tired.
It is 10 till 1 in the morning here in the Eastern time zone. I think we need to go ahead and call it. Folks, thank you for being here tonight. Brent, thank you so much for gracing our
yeah. No, my pleasure. Yeah.
Like we are thrilled.
Somebody
you came back.
had to be here.
I mean, chat didn't, but they showed up. That's their problem.
Yeah.
But we really appreciate you coming on, and
truly, yeah, you've been absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's been fun, guys.
Yeah. And we hope that at some point we can have you back again. Like this is great, and like I don't feel like I necessarily need like a commercial reason to ask you to come back, but if it lines up, that's great. And if it doesn't, I'm still thrilled to have you anytime you want.
Speaking of,
we can. Oh God, what?
Hey, chat. Have you ever wanted the ability to stamp things on a robot without having to use stickers? Or perhaps adding a neat tattoo to Muscle Guy Big Gun from your collection?
Let's not grab one of the fucking Temu-ass Star Trek plates. Let's actually grab a Goblin Hobbies plate that's not made of plagiarism.
With striking, original items that look reminiscent, but legally distinct from many of your favorite properties.
There we go. We'll do a quick demonstration, assuming I can find my scraper, which I may not be able to find.
Complete with high quality.
Oh, are you awake enough to do this? You ready?
I am awake enough, legit, if I can find a scraper. That might actually be the hardest part of this. I know where everything else is.
Which includes everything you need to get started,
except the
paint.
Scraper. No, I've got... If you get the starter set, you get the Stampin' Color. And you get...
Which includes the Stampin' Color.
And a Scraper, but my dumbass lost it.
Whoops. Well, credit card it is. Just,
including
kind of try to hide the date. Yeah.
Including a Scraper, easily lost by Parallax for security reasons.
I've only got 3 of the damn things.
Behold, human knee.
Listen, you don't know what kind of sapien I am.
You possess meat leg.
You don't have to do a stamp. It's okay.
Actually, I'm really irritated
don't
about
ruin
the fact...
your credit card. Yeah.
Listen, I'm not wearing pants. I don't have my credit card on me.
Don't ruin your credit card. Look, I'm not wearing pants. Yes, excellent. We are all very good at this.
This is better. That's going to
Tara's not wearing pants. Buy a Stampin' Plate if you need a Stampin' Plate. They're cool as hell.
It comes with the stamper and a polish and plates, and if you get the intro set, and a scraper that I have absolutely lost.
Scraper,
and I just hit my
not
camera
here.
So yeah, there's a thing.
There's a black. You get a black in
there.
There
is a black. There's a black, and then you can buy other colors that probably, frankly, don't work as well, but you can try them.
And experimentation is the name of the game.
And I may or may not have stolen these from my daughter and/or wife. No more questions. I break your hands.
Hey.
Anyway,
That is the power of the Goblin Hobbies.
Well, we did it.
Kick-ass plate.
Well, this has been great. You guys have a good night, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, likewise.
There we
Thanks
go.
for being here.
Folks, thank you for being here. Other words go here. I got to go over to the other side of the desk, so you're going with me.
The stalling begins.
The stalling begins. This is the part where I walk across the desk while holding a microphone
you need to find
on
your
a
buttons
stand.
for the outro?
Oh no!
Is that what
Well,
we're doing
I mean,
here?
yeah, more or less. I got to move over to the other side of the desk so I can hit the button that tells
Is there
people.
air horns or something.
And Squick, hit the button.
Beep, bop.
No,
boop.
Squick, you have buttons. Hit a button.
Okay.
I don't know which.
I am now pressing this button. I hope that helps.
That helped. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, WBPL 76, thanks you for being here. And hey, if you want to show off your stuff at the beginning of the show, send your submissions to art@wbpl76.com. That gets forwarded directly to me. By the way, I do not just accept miniatures. Anything creative you want to send, we will show it off and talk about it. We've had leatherworking. We've had Lego, lots of Legos. We've had Gunpla. We've had minis. We've had robots. We've actually had the robot.
If you've done something neat, we want to know about it.
I got one thing I got to do because I promised the guy I would address this. Let's see if I can actually find the email real quick so I can address his question. He had a question, and I just remembered it existed. And Colin, you asked me a question. Listen, shut up.
Fair. Proceed.
Okay, he needed a recommendation for everything that he needed to get started with resin printing. Okay, so first printer, I recommend probably something in the price range of a Mars 4. You can get the Ultra if you want to. You don't have to. I don't know what the Anycubic equivalent is because their naming nomenclature absolutely baffles me. I'd get a bottle of ABS-like resin, and you're going to need high-proof alcohol. Probably you can get away with 91 proof. And then either you need a UV light. You can get away with like a nail spa curing light, or you can invest more heavily into like a mercury from Elegoo to actually do both.
Just get the wash and cure station.
The wash and cure station.
Just get the wash and cure station. Don't go for individual parts. The quality of life difference is insane. Get the dedicated equipment. And also, get a bunch of gloves.
Yes, get nitrile gloves. Do not get latex gloves. Latex gloves are permeable enough for the resin to come through. But ultimately, yeah, that's it. I say that's it. That's like $500 worth of stuff.
Oh, you will also need a computer.
I assume they have a computer. It'll come with Shadowbox Pro for like 3 months. Aside from that, there's some research that goes into it, but by and large, resin printers they're a solved problem. You won't have many issues if you have pre-supported minis. And all my minis, not all my minis, most of my most recent minis are pre-supported for those of you that care. Again, send your stuff to art@wbpl76.com. Whatever you're doing that's creative, we accept it, and I will show it off and talk about it. Otherwise, we're getting back to subathon stuff tomorrow. I don't know what's going on because I've been too busy lately to be involved, but something fun will be happening, I am sure. I'm going to try to do something next weekend. I don't know what it is yet, but thank you all for being here. Brent, thank you for wasting your time with us.
Yeah, buddy.
And we're going to go ahead and call it. Again, the submission stuff is in the outro page in case you missed me saying it earlier. And Squick, do you want to say anything before we go?
We will call it like a telephone, and then it will be you that rings.